So when we were practicing, I was just trying to run the best laps I could early on to get that transition down, because today it's going to be back and forth in and out of both cars relatively fast. So we'll see. But she showed some speed as well, so I'm excited.
Now, the SKs and Opens are only separated by one division in the limited lates. Which one of these suits your driving style better, and how is that changeover going to affect you in the Open mod race?
I think the Open mod suits me a little bit better, just because the SK is a lot of momentum. When you make a mistake, it takes a little bit longer to recover. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think the SKs are a little bit more aggressive than the Open cars here at Stafford. So there's definitely no giving in the SK. It's full throttle all the time, and you can't give up any spots. And it's being hard to pass here. Track position is so important, so you got to fight for every spot you have.
A cautiously optimistic Eric Goodale. Now, let's go to the driver who took home the big trophy in Stafford's Premier Division last season.
And Rob, that driver is Andrew Moeller, coming off his first Stafford SK Modified Championship a year ago, getting ready to go back-to-back here in 2025. How's the off-season preparation been going for you and your race team?
It's been good. We've been working hard on this thing, trying to get it ready. It's been a fun off-season, that's for sure. Being able to celebrate the championship was fun, and had a nice championship party, so very thankful for that. But once the clock struck midnight, before the new year, 2025 hit, and it all reset, and now we're trying to go and do it again. So just trying to go out there and win as many races as we can, and try and be there at the end once again.
So without giving all the secrets away, what did you learn about winning a track title here a year ago?
It's a lot of fun, and this place is great to win a championship at. I've never got to experience to win a championship in a modified, so the amount of things that Stafford did for us was awesome. I mean, the trading cards, the merchandise, the helping us out with the party. I mean, just everything. They're so good to all these drivers and crew guys, and we're so thankful for that. So we're hoping that we can do it all again.
Opening day, a bit of a temperature swing since we were last here a week ago. What do you think that'll do to the racetrack for 40 laps later today?
Yeah, we got the open rubber here too. It'll definitely be a good one. I think it's really going to be one groove today. Usually the beginning of the year is the top groove doesn't really come in until a little bit later in the year. So everyone's going to be fighting for the bottom, including myself, and we're hopeful that we can be on the bottom to make some moves and be up front. We want to qualify good. That's super important. So we want to heat race good and qualify good and start up front and try and control the race. So
good luck later today.
Thank you.
That is Andrew Moeller looking for his second consecutive SK Modified Championship here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Now let's hear from a driver that had all the momentum in the world at the end of last year's late model division.
A very mixed bag last year for Adam Gray in the late models. Adam started off with a slow start, but turned it on late. What have you guys worked on over the offseason to ensure that all of this year goes like the last few events of the season last year?
Well, I mean, some people think we're nuts, but we built a new car over the winter. Bob Phil did a great job with it, and we came and practiced it last Thursday. Car was really good. I think we'll be golden.
What's the goal for this year? I imagine a title would be the primary focus.
Win races and have fun, and where it is at the end of the season, it is. You start looking at points, you start chasing yourself, and kind of messing with your mind a little bit. So we're here to have fun and win races.
Tell me about the relationship with Bob Phil that you guys have had. Obviously, he gave you a great piece at the end of last year.
Yeah, I mean, we had, I got a street stock that Bob's done. He worked on the other car in the past, and we kind of got back together there, and he straightened out the other car. I mean, huge difference. And, like I said, he's the master of these things, and hopefully we can put this one in victory lane pretty quick.
Adam Gray with a lot of momentum coming off the end of last year. Kyle, back to you.
And Rob able to catch up with a driver coming off her best career season here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Amanda West, top 5 in points a year ago. A good late race or late season run last year with that first win. How's the off season, and what's 2025 looking like for you and your 15 team?
I think the plan is just to carry the momentum from last season and see what we can do here. I mean, top 5 in points last year. We're looking for a little bit better, and hopefully some more wins to the roster. That would be a successful season for me.
Walking in here this weekend, is there a little bit more confidence after that win last August and the good top 5 finish in points?
Yeah, I know. We have a good team behind us. Worked hard on this car to get it get it to my liking and get it fast. So I think we'll be good here, and I'm looking forward to. I wish the weather today was a little bit better because it was all sunny all week, and then of course today is cold and windy, but at least no droplets coming from the sky. So it's gonna be a good day, good year.
I'm here with Travis Downey, reigning street stock champion at the Stafford Speedway. Travis, a lot of the big names of the division going on to different things for this year. Who would you say is your biggest competition going into the 2025 season for the street stocks?
Probably maybe Tyler Trott. Waterman's not here. I was hoping he was going to be, but I know Aaron Clemens won the championship down at Waterford, and he raced here a couple years ago, and he was a good competitor to race against then. I don't know. We're all pretty good. We'll see how Marvin Minkler does this year. It looks like he's pretty fast in practice, and we'll give it a shot.
What's the offseason look like for you guys trying to prepare for this championship repeat run?
Our car that we ran last year is sitting on the jack stands in the garage, and this is our car that we started here in with, I guess in 2021 or 2020 when we started. It's completely redone, all new body, new front clip on it. This was Meg Fuller's car that she ran at Thompson, and just completely rebuilt everything.
A brand new season begins for Travis Downey and all our drivers here at Stafford Speedway. You're not going to miss a second of the action with Kyle Rickey and Ben Dodge on the call for it all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The greatest race in the history of spring is about to begin here at the half-mile facility. Mother Nature has not been kind to us. However, the management of the Stafford Speedway have done their best, and today we are in for another historic day. And it all began with 165-plus cars assembled in the paddock area. That is a record amount of cars for a one-day event here at the Half Mile. You're in for history in the making like no other. I'm Ben Dodge, and I welcome you on behalf of the Root family and what we refer to as Team Stafford, alongside the gentleman who will be calling the action throughout the afternoon with me, highly respected in the broadcast business, Mr. Kyle Rickey. Kyle, we have seen the pit area with cars before, but never a field assembled like today. There is records being set in all of the divisions. The big car count is 39 in the open modified type cars, and nobody is running away and hiding in that division
all looking to make the 30-car field here later today for the 53rd running of the NAPA Spring Sizzler. And you're right, Ben, they have been parking haulers here, I feel like, for the last 4 days nonstop, all the way behind us here in the main grandstand and all the way around turns 1 and 2, up the back straightaway behind the billboards. There are haulers, there are race teams that are ready to kick off this 2025 season in grand style, a little grander than we had anticipated originally, but all 5 weekly divisions here in one day, plus the open modifieds and the running of the Spring Sizzler also this afternoon.
We sure are. And you look back at the record books, of course, there's a great shot as you look at the big screen center stage at the course itself, and who will be the master of that course in not just one division, but all of the divisions. A lot of displays and excitement going on the midway area as well. The Manafort family have brought out some history. We'll be talking a little bit later to them, as they are our honorary folks for this afternoon's presentation. Sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Plenty of great food located on the Midway. A lot of changes going on. The sausage shop is open a brand new spot directly behind Broadcast Central, and they have got your favorite items prepared just exactly the way you like it. All the other locations are up and going for your enjoyment, so welcome to our show. Please remember also that today's event we have lap money for all of the laps consisting in the 100-lap presentation of this year's event, and that, of course, is the NAPA Spring Sizzler 2025, and, of course, that money will be distributed and passed along as well. So, there's no question. You're in for a great afternoon of racing. It's brisk, and, of course, there is a breeze and a wind in the air, and that means one thing. Race cars are going to be fast. Fast and furious is what the story is going to be in today's presentation. Before we get things kicked off, we want to remind you that this afternoon's event, our safety services trucks, are supplied by the good folks at Monaco Ford with 2 convenient locations, one in Glastonbury and the other in Niantic, Connecticut. Monaco Ford, with the best inventory in new and used, best parts, and award-winning service, you'll find it at Monaco Ford. Now, if you're wondering what's going on backstage, here's what the story is. Preparation is being done in an effort to get the cars for the open modifieds for what they refer to as group qualifying. How does this work? They will send out X number of cars. We will watch the chart and watch these competitors move up. Now, this is usually based on the format in the presentation that the fastest cars in the house go out last. The cars that were slower in practice go out at the beginning of the session. Now, in the paddock area for this afternoon's presentation, Ed Bennett is joining along with Jay Shea and a group of individuals, and the first car comes rolling onto the racetrack. It is car number 75, and that, of course, is the Tallinn, Connecticut driver of the Monaco Ford Chassis Pro Chassis DP Motorsports car for David Arute. Second car out on the racetrack itself, directly behind, working its magic off turn number 4, will be car number 77. That, of course, is the 77 machine for William Lambros, a competitor out of Northport, New York. Kyle?
Car number 55X crossing the line for Trevor Catalano from Ontario, New York, the Glastonbury Cleaning Service sponsored car, and also the 17 out there in this group for Danny Knoll from Amherst, New York, the Tow Book sponsored number 17 car.
Car number 28 out of Woodstock, Connecticut. It is the Cape Towing and Salvage CNC Pools car, a Troyer Fuller race car. Car 28 for Buddy Charette.
Also on the racetrack in this group, car number 11 from Farmington, Connecticut, the Hummel Brothers Hot Dog sponsored car for Corey DiMatteo. DiMatteo exiting the track over in turn 2. David Arute crossing the start-finish line as we speak. A couple of warm-up laps before they are able to go to full speed and try to set the fastest lap here in this first group qualifying session.
No question. On the starter stand, Bill Long, Mike Helberg will be among the starters for this afternoon's presentation. Now, for those of you that keep track of racing through Race Monitor, you should go to Race Monitor at this time. You'll be seeing that 6 individuals are on the racetrack. They consist of Corey DiMatteo, car number 11, Danny Knoll, the 17, Buddy Charette, the 28, Trevor Catalano, the 55, David Arute, the 75, and William Lambros with car number 77. Now, Kyle, we've seen how this works before. It's very simple. The first couple of laps, they just get a little heat in the tires. But when it comes down to the final laps, that's when it's, well, go for broke, and nobody's going to hold back or save anything. You're looking at the Hummel's Hot Dog Machine, prepared by Eddie Flemke Jr., and, of course, one of our own here at Stafford, Corey DiMatteo. We're literally riding with him on the big screen as they come back to the line. We'll be checking in, and so far, Corey DiMatteo is the quickest car on the racetrack.
Couple of laps left in this opening session of the season for the Open Modifieds in preparation of the NAPA Spring Sizzler later this afternoon. Those watching at home able to get a good look at Buddy Charette coming down to the line. About to get the 2-to-go signal for the 75 of David Arute.
And there you're looking at the 77 for a moment for William Lambros. David Arute moves to the top of the charts as David Arute will be the quickest guy to contend with. William Lambros will move into the category of second. And third is Trevor Catalano. The white flag is out. These are the ones that are going to be counting the most. as David Arute continues to dominate the racing action. Let's see what's going to happen in this final lap.
Lambros a bit quicker
Yes.
that last time by.
And that bumps David Arute back to the third spot. So here is session number 1. Coming to a close, Kyle. William Lambros will be the guy that sets in position number 1 out of Northport, New York in the PSR chassis car, the William Dean Platinum car. Second fastest, the 28 machine. That, of course, is Buddy Charette, Woodstock, Connecticut, the Cape Towing and Salvage car. David Arute, which was atop the charts for a while in the Monaco Ford DP Motorsports car number 75, is third fastest. Corey DiMatteo, Trevor Catalano, and Danny Knoll Jr. That's the first group, 6 cars, the fastest time, Lambros, 18.596. Now, how does that stack up? Kyle, earlier today, we almost got in the 17-second bracket.
It was close with Ron Silk running a fast time of 18.025 seconds to be the fastest car in the practice session just about an hour or so ago. Stephen Kopsick was second, Sam Ramo third, Matt Hirschman, and John McKennedy the top 5, which means we'll see those drivers later on in this qualifying session.
Let's take a look a little further back in that one as well. Other strong runs were turned in by Brett Meservey in the 76 car. Aaron Marcello Rafano was also among the top 10 cars. Ronnie Williams, no surprises, rounded out the top 8. Mikey Flynn and Chase Dowling would set among the top 10 driving the 44 car. So those stories and more about to be put to the test, as here is group number 2. And it looks like in group number 2, car number 66 will be the USNE Power LFR chassis car from Islip, New York, a standout from Riverhead Raceway and former Wheel and Modified Tourer driver. It is Timmy Salamito. That's the blue and neon car at the start-finish line. Then it is car number 15. That's Jake Johnson in the Lynn's Propane Trucks machine. The Fury, Jake Johnson car from Dighton, Massachusetts, car 15.
Car 14, third across the line from Hamburg, New York, the Advantage Truck-sponsored car for Jake Lutz. And let's see, behind Jake, we have the 19 out on the racetrack. From Dunstable, Massachusetts, the Battle Weber Racing car. The 19 is Jeffrey Battle.
Car number 179, another outstanding competitor from the Wheel and Modified Tour, the Avenue Auto Machine. The John Jensen-owned Troyer chassis car from Northampton, Pennsylvania. Car 179 for Austin Beers.
And the number 31 out on the racetrack from Canton, Connecticut, the Mid-State Site Development car for Noah Corner.
So those are among the shining stars. It looks like car number 10 is also another one of the cars that is heading around. We'll check. There's the 19 car. And yes, it is car number 10. That is Nick Anglace, the Yukon Athletics Anglace Racing Enterprises car from Seymour, Connecticut.
Good-looking car up the back straightaway right now for Nick Anglace.
We're looking at Austin Beers for a second. Now our attention shifts back to Salamito. Salamito's got a nice line, comes way out wide on the straightaway, dives to the bottom, puts the car under the white line, lets it drift up a bit, and Kyle, I think he is going to be very strong in this group. And now we are looking with 1 lap to go. Let's see what's going to change, and it does. Jake Johnson moves to the top of the charts.
Timmy Salamito to second, Noah Corner third. So the top 3 currently out of this group into their final lap. Corner up the back straightaway in car 31. Checkered is out for Salamito.
Austin Beers moves into second with the 179 car. Salamito back to third. Noah Corner a stout run in fourth. And William Lambros to round out the top 5. Kyle, 6th through 10th. What's it look like now?
Now currently it's Jake Lutz in 6th, Buddy Charette in 7th, Jeffrey Battle in 8th, David Arute 9th, and Corey DiMatteo rounding out the top 10.
So we have now completed our second group of Tour Modifieds coming out of the racetrack. They are being stopped in line down on pit road, and the drivers, some of them choosing to get out of their race cars to keep up on what's in store. As we said, Jake Johnson, a youngster whose family have long time competed at the Seekonk Speedway. Dad also raced at the Thompson Speedway. Jake drove the Bowler number 3 car. One of the quickest cars in the early rounds of practice is on the Speedway next. And it's no surprise. It's the Jimmy Page Plumbing and Heating car. From Walcott, Connecticut, the very talented 00. And that, of course, Stewart's Automotive, listed among the sponsors for Michael Christopher Jr.
Next to cross the line in this session, car number 8, always strong whenever he shows up here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, no matter what he's driving, from Bellingham, Massachusetts. Gunsmoke Stables, the entry for Woody Pitcat.
Car number 32 is up next from Owego, New York, driving the USNE Power Northeast Drilling Company car. The driver of the 32 is Tyler Ripkema.
Number 13 car on the racetrack from Preston, Connecticut, the USNE Power entry, the 13 from Preston, it's Max Zackham.
This car was equally as impressive in practice as well in the early going to the Sella Paving Raceworks chassis car from Berlin, Mass. Ladies and gentlemen, the 92 is Anthony Nocella.
And the number 20 out on the Speedway from Canton, Connecticut, also sponsored by USNE Power, the 20 for Dana, that is, DiMatteo.
And car number 5, Connecticut, the Dolly's Collision and Custom Sunoco car from Lisbon, Connecticut, is, of course, Chris Bastriak. You're looking at Woody Pitcat. White number 8 car, Cam McDermott prepares it. Loose coming off the turn, that's usually fast. And we are riding along with Pitcat and Kyle. He's got a picture-perfect line. I think Pitcat's going to move to the top of the charts in this round.
We'll find out here in a second. He's on your screen right now. Car number 8 comes off of turn number 4 to complete another lap into the final 2. Christopher already on the back straightaway in the 00. We'll see if any of these drivers in Group 3 can make their way up the leaderboard. White flag is out.
White flag comes out. Let's see what's going to happen. This is the lap that counts the most. Christopher moves into second with the 00. Now, Jake Johnson moves to the top of the charts. Dana DiMatteo moves into second. Michael Christopher settles back into third. Kyle?
Austin Beers, Woody Pitcat, the top 5. Checkered flag is out on the final couple of drivers here in this session.
But it still remains Jake Johnson, the leader of the pack, 18.033. Dana DiMatteo, great run for second in the 20 car. Michael Christopher was third fastest. Austin Beers was fourth, and Anthony Nocella would round out the top 5. Now, if you're just joining us, we are in the midst of what they refer to as group qualifying. These times will determine where they will line up and start the qualifying heat races. So it's very important for these drivers to be among the quickest cars in the house.
It is indeed, and as we go through these groups, the time should get quicker, although a bit of surprise there by some of the drivers in that last session, not in the top 5, like you mentioned, Woody Pitcat
yes.
in car number 8, just outside of the top 5 right now in the 6th spot as another group heads out onto the racetrack.
Car number 47 was quick in the first round of practice, driving the Allied Sanitation Machine from Walcott, Connecticut. They called him the Mooch. Car 47, Joey Muchacharo Jr.
Car number 3 crossing the line right now from Catawba, North Carolina, coming a long way to race here today. The AAA Consultant LLC sponsored car, former Speedway regular for Matt Galco.
Keep your eyes on this car, the Matlock Motorsports Machine out of Southington, Connecticut. He was very strong a week ago in practice. Car 4, Jacob Perry.
Then it's going to be the car 8 in New York from Griswold, Connecticut. The West Wind Tree Farm car from Griswold, Connecticut, Tyler Berry.
One of our own here at Stafford is car number 51, Connecticut. Coca-Cola of Connecticut sponsors the Fueled by Motorsports number 51, Connecticut from Plymouth, Joey Cipriano.
And then the number 25 is also on the racetrack from Harvard, Massachusetts. The Ceravolo's Auto, Mully's Auto Repair car for Matt Swanson.
So there you have it, another group of cars. Matty Galco works for Joe Gibbs Racing.
He does.
And this is the first opportunity that he's had to come back and be here on home base and compete here in the modified division.
Good to see him earlier this year in Daytona with the JGR team.
Doing a fantastic job. They really speak exceptionally highly of him for his efforts.
Jacob Perry on your screen right now. Car number 4 about to cross the line, gets 2 to go signal.
This is where it gets really hot and heavy. And we are riding with the young and talented Jacob Perry. Has competed in the offseason with some Smart Tour events. White flag has been given. We've got a spin on the backstretch to the right of our big screen. And Jake Johnson still sets atop the board here. And the car that did spin is car number 25. And that is the Brian Roby number 25. There are two 25s. That's the 25 New Hampshire. That is the Bar Harbor Bank and Trust machine. Now, Matt Hirschman is also carrying that sponsorship with him for this afternoon's event. So the Gary Casella car will be the car that Matt Swanson is competing in.
That's the red 25.
Yes, and the blue and white one, Brian Roby's new car for the competition. Roby out of Sunapee, New Hampshire, a former New Hampshire state champion. They're getting him back up to speed, Kyle. Now, we'll see if this will help out anybody because nothing has really changed with the exception of Matty Galco, who moved into the top 5 with car number 3.
Not a lot of time to get that momentum up. We'll see how many laps they're given. It's not going to be much of a high-speed run here with the checkered flag out. So I don't expect much to change. Galco in the top 5.
Yep, stays there. Let's see what the 4 car does. And it looks like, well, we kind of called it. Jake Johnson still atop the board with a time of 18.033. Dana DiMatteo is second. Michael Christopher still third. Austin Beers is fourth. Matt Galco moves into the top 5. Anthony Nacella, Woody Pitcat, Timmy Salamito, Noah Corner, and Chris Pastriak. Things change just a bit. With a blink of an eye, Anthony Nacella moved into 8th. Woody Pitcat back to 9th. And Timmy Salamito in 10th. So it's Johnson, DiMatteo, Christopher, Beers. Cipriano moved into 5th, bumping Matt Galco in that last circuit.
A lot of drivers looking
and that was
at the racetrack.
That was Jake Johnson.
It was, Jake.
And he, of course, I'm sure, is thinking, will I be able to hold on? Car number 58 is on the track next. That's the GAF Roofing Goody Motorsports car from Riverhead, New York. Eric Goodale.
Car 48 crosses the line from North Haven, Connecticut. The Wheelers Auto Service car for Marcello Rafrano.
Next we see is car number 10A. That's the Avery Construction car. The Horsepower Hill Farms machine. From Berlin, Connecticut, Keith Rocco.
One of the heavy hitters in the SK division at the end of last season out on the racetrack. The number 24 from Hamden, Massachusetts. Place Motors the entry for Mikey Flynn.
This guy's always hot here at Stafford. Driving the Harshaw Paving, S&S Paving, number 44 Mass. The Lonnie Tenio car from Bethlehem, Connecticut. It is Chase Dowling.
And car 50 out on track from Lebanon, Connecticut. The Empower Financial Advisory entry for Ronnie Williams.
Williams was quick in practice earlier today as well. And getting the cars up to speed. You're looking at the parade of contenders for the greatest race in the history of spring. Brought to you by your local NAPA Auto Parts stores.
Getting into the final couple laps here and into the final couple of groups of this qualifying session to set much of the starting lineups for action later today for the heat races for the Open Modifieds. We'll have heat races to set the starting lineup for the 30-car starting field for the 53rd Napa Springs Sizzler later this afternoon. 2 to go. It'll be white flag this time for this group. Goodale, first to receive the white flag.
Let's see who's moving up and contending rather quickly. Time is running out. Less than a half a mile in this group. Ronnie Williams moves into the top 7, Kyle. That's not where you want it to be. Checkered flag is out.
Rafrano's in the top 5, running now in 4th in car number 48.
Good run for him. And it looks like story is the same. Jake Johnson can, well, sigh a moment of relief. He's still the guy in number 1. Dana DiMatteo is 2nd. Michael Christopher is 3rd. Marcello Rafano, great run for him in 4th. Austin Beers rounds out the top 5. 6th through 10th, Kyle.
Include Joey Cipriano, make that hang on, is it Joey Cipriano in the 6th spot? Ronnie Williams, Matt Galco, Mikey Flynn, and Jacob Perry. They are the top 10 as we still get towards some of the faster cars now that were in practice earlier today, coming out onto the racetrack among the final cars to qualify for heat race competition.
Well, here we go. It is car number 06. That is the Quality Fleet Services machine, and the driver out of Westminster, Massachusetts is Sammy Ramo.
79 on the racetrack from Chelmsford, Massachusetts, the Christopher's Towing Car 79 for John McKennedy.
Then the 137 Gas Company car out of Brewster, Massachusetts. Norm Perry owns the car. Car 76. It is Brett Meservey.
Car 16 is next from Norwalk, Connecticut. Driver looking to make it 3 in a row in this race for Ron Silk in the Blue Mountain Machine Future Homes car.
And then we go to car number 1. This was among the quickest cars in the house, the Newtown Pools machine. Tommy Wanick owns the car for Newtown, Connecticut. One of Stafford's own, a former champion, Stephen Kopsick.
And former winner of the Sizzler, car 60 from Northampton, Pennsylvania, the Bar Harbor Bank and Trust car for Matt Hirschman.
So we've come down to this. These are the fastest cars in the house earlier today. In practice, who will move to the top of the charts? Last chance to do it. Coming down to 2 to go. 1 mile left to determine who's going to move to the top of the charts. Matt Hirschman goes by the start-finish line. But you're looking at Ronnie Silk. White flag is out. You're riding with Silk down off turn 2. Silk just moved into 2nd. John McKennedy back to 3rd. Ramos up to 4th. Checkered flag comes out. And guess what? Ronnie Silk moves into the number 1 spot. Will it stick? Silk with a time of 18.023. Quickest car in the house. That bumps Jake Johnson back to 2nd, 18.033. John McKennedy, car 79, is 3rd. Matt Hirschman is your 4th fastest car. That's the Bar Harbor Bank machine. And Stephen Kopsick rounds out the top 5. Kyle?
Then it was Sam Ramo in the 6th spot, Dana DiMatteo in 7th, Michael Christopher Jr. in 8th, Marcello Rafano 9th, and Austin Beers the top 10. Again, this order will set the starting lineup for their qualifying heat races coming up here in a little bit.
Joey Cipriano is 11th, Ronnie Williams is 12th, Brett Meservey is 13th, Matt Galco is 14th, and Mikey Flynn is 15th.
Behind Mikey Flynn, rounding out the top 20 include Jacob Perry, Anthony Nocella, Eric Goodale, Woody Pitcat, and Timmy Solomito. So some big guns deep. Will be deep in their qualifying heat race lineups here coming up in a bit.
21st will be Noah Corner. Chris Pastriak, 22nd. William Lambros, 23rd. Keith Rocco, 24th. Chase Dowling, 25th.
Tyler Ripkema, 26th. Joey Muchacharo, 27th. Tyler Berry, 28th. Matt Zackham, 29th. And Jake Lutz in 30th.
Just out of the top 30, Buddy Charette, 31st. Jeffrey Battle, 32nd. David Root, 33rd. Corey DiMatteo is 34th. Trevor Catalano is 35th.
And rounding out the 39 cars that took time, Brian Roby, Nick Anglace, Danny Knoll Jr., and Matt Swanson did not go on the racetrack in the number 25 car, so 38 cars took time. They'll head back to the pits, prepare for their qualifying events coming up in a little bit. Speaking of heat races, we have a bunch of them coming up here in just a few minutes, including the SK Light Modifieds. Another huge field of cars, over 60 cars entered during the off season to compete here at some point this season, and a good chunk of them has showed up here today. Nearly 40 of them in the lineup will be split into two NAPA dual feature events later today. So it's actually going to be two separate SK Light features, two winners, two full purses. Those two races will help determine the starting lineup for the big 30-lap feature on our opening Friday night. Of course, all of this was originally scheduled for yesterday and today,
correct.
But Mother Nature forced us to make other plans.
Certainly did. And, of course, all of those competitors in the SK Light division are pumped up. They're enthusiastic about this, and it is going to be a great afternoon for the rising stars of open-wheel racing here at the half mile. You know, there are several locations down in the Midway that are open to have you stop by and say hello. This event, of course, is brought to you by your local NAPA Auto Parts stores. With NAPA, get up and go. In addition to all of that, down on the Midway, those legendary Manafort race cars. I can remember watching Team Manafort run in the old days at Plainville Stadium. And, of course, legend car dominance at one time in the Manafort Mini Mile. So there is so much history that surrounds them. If you're a fan of the Monaco Modified Series, or if you're looking for souvenir items from the good folks at Sunoco, or anything associated with the drivers of the Monaco Tri-Track Series, that location is located on the Midway as well, with plenty of souvenir items. Don't forget the double hook. Head on over there. Best viewing seats in the house. Delicious adult beverage that'll warm you up just a bit for today's presentation. And, of course, the official Stafford Speedway team efforts that is available at the souvenir booth as well, and that brand new location on the Midway area, the Sausage Shop. Prepared just the way that you like them. You go to the big fairs or any of the functions, you'll get the same high quality as you have there. You can almost smell it from the main grandstand and Broadcast Central. Head on down there and visit those good folks.
You mentioned the Manaforts a moment ago. We're going to chat with Justin here in just a little bit, part of our opening ceremonies, which will be here on the start-finish line. The Manafort Mini Mile, brand new for 2025.
You know, for those of you that haven't been here, or those of you that'll be watching later on the broadcast at home, it is a brand new mini mile. And of course, when you look at it, you'll see how impressive it actually is. It's wider, it's smoother, it's going to be faster. And I'm going to tell you, Kyle, you are the legendary voice of Monday nights, and these kids are pumped up to get out there on this particular course and show their skills and talents.
It's fun to watch every Monday night here, and it's going to begin in a couple of weeks' time. Their open practice scheduled for next weekend, and then the following Monday will be underway just about every Monday during the course of the summer months. So we're going to do a brief presentation with the Manaforts just a few minutes from now following the qualifying heat races. So we ask all the Manafort guests to gather near the pit gate on the midway when that time comes. Once we get into late model qualifying, they're the last group of cars to qualify here this afternoon, just prior to the feature events. As we are in a bit of a holding pattern here, the Monaco Ford safety team making their way around the racetrack to make sure there's no possible debris and the track's ready to go. But unfortunately, Mother Nature may have other things to say.
You know, unfortunately, Mother Nature just doesn't want to be kind to any of us. But the news is this should be a short situation, and we should be ready to resume. So right now would be a great time for you to head on down to the midway, get yourself something good to eat or drink, souvenir items. And again, we thank you so much for joining us for the greatest race in the history of spring. A special presentation brought to you by your local NAPA Auto Parts stores. Look for the blue and the gold. NAPA. Get up and go.
Lots happening here at the racetrack in 2025. Opening Friday night begins things on a weekly basis on May 9th, just shy of 2 weeks from now. Monster trucks return to the Stafford Motor Speedway for the first time in a number of years on Saturday, June 14th and Sunday, June 15th for 3 shows. Tickets are available at StaffordSpeedway.com, part of the Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live Tour and the return of Bigfoot to the Stafford Motor Speedway. It's been, I think, since 1998 since we last saw Bigfoot here at this racetrack. So look forward to seeing the return of Bigfoot in their 50th anniversary. Cletus McFarlane also back this season for a second consecutive year. Remember, 2 sold-out events last summer, so mark your calendars for Friday, July 18th.
Get those tickets in advance.
The New England 900, featuring the nitrous-equipped Crown Vics, the Van Prix, also monster trucks on that day. And on Saturday, July 19th, we'll have the popular Burnout Rivals back for a second consecutive year.
So there's a lot going on. Tickets are available. Come out and join us. Tell your friends about it and be here for the festivities and the excitement. Please remember the main grandstand area here at Stafford is a non-smoking grandstand. If you choose to smoke, you may do so, but the main grandstand area is not the location to do so. Just been informed that off turn number 4, the merchandise stand has all your favorite items. And you know, on a brisk day like today, they've got the sweatshirts, the T-shirts, the hoodies, all of those great items to bring home with you. Stafford Speedway gift cards and much, much more. So stay tuned. This won't be long. We'll be right back at it. The order of the program, when we get back to the festivities, the SK Light qualifying heats will be among the first on the track of 8 laps in distance. SK Modifieds will follow, street stocks, and then the open modified heats, limited late models, and late models. Then we'll have the official opening before we move into the feature events of competition. Now, right now is the picture-perfect time for you to send a message to somebody who might not be here as yet and tell them that we'd like to see you come out and join us here at the half mile. There's nothing like seeing it live. FloRacing is great, but seeing it live is very, very good. And what have we got, Kyle?
We got a couple of really cool backpacked gift items from USNE that are obviously a proud sponsor here at the racetrack.
Absolutely.
If for every pack of cards that you buy, the trading cards that became available for a 3rd consecutive year during the off season, really cool. Unfortunately, we're not part of it this year, but
very collectible too. By the way,
very collectible and the perfect autograph item. For every pack of cards that a fan buys, they get a ticket. That ticket goes toward a raffle. Up on the big screen now, you see one of the USNE backpacks that are stuffed with a lot of fun things from the drivers that they support. I believe there's 3 or 4 T-shirts in each of the backpacks, a Justin Bonsignor collectible diecast. There's a trading card from the LAP sponsorship program. Looks like a koozie, some other fun things. So for every pack of cards that you purchase, you get a ticket. And that ticket goes toward this raffle that will be drawn here later today.
Sure will. And there are some surprises in there as well. So, again, take full advantage of this, and now's the perfect time to head on over there and do just that.
And you get the perfect autographed items for the many opportunities that we'll have during the season to meet and greet the drivers here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Some really cool specialty cards for this season. Kevin and Colton Gambacorda, one of them, winning back-to-back championships. Colton on Monday nights, Kevin on Friday nights in his late model. We'll see Colton more this year in the street stocks every week. Amanda West has a special card from her first win late last season. So pretty cool opportunity to collect them all. And now's a good time to get a pack of trading cards, get the collection started, and get a ticket for the raffle from USNE later today, packed with a bunch of really fun things, all in a clear backpack. So obviously clear bags becoming a thing the last couple of years, including right here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It's just easier for the security folks to check and see what you're bringing into events. And a clear backpack will make it much easier. And you'll have about 3 or 4 T-shirts in the process.
Yes.
So fun opportunity there.
It certainly is. And we can see now that they're coming out to try to make sure that everything is on schedule and quickly as possible to make sure we condition the racetrack. If you're in the market for a newer used Ford vehicle, it's Monaco Ford with 2 convenient locations, one in Glastonbury, Connecticut, the other in Niantic, Connecticut. See Mike, his sister, or even Dave Monaco. They'll be more than glad to assist you in getting that vehicle or that special treatment in service or whatever your parts needs might be. As we said before, our safety services crew providing us with the exposure of the vehicle. The official safety services vehicles are provided by Monaco Ford. Our track wreckers out assisting us at this time as well. And as we said before, if you haven't already, please head down to the Midway area. Take a look at those Manafort 76 cars. You know, I've been around this sport a long time, Kyle, and I have always had the pleasure of meeting a lot of great people, and the Manaforts are among the greatest of people, big supporters here at Stafford, creator of the Mini Mile, and so much history, the old Plainville Stadium, Waterford Speed Bowl, and the list goes on and on. And you know what's coming up next? Well, take a look at the big screen, because Josh Morrison is going to take us behind the scenes before this afternoon's Spring Sizzler event.
And I got SK Light Modified winner on NAPA Championship night last year, Josh Morrison, with me, and he's going to give us a tour of the race shop. But why don't you tell us about this building and where it's located and the story behind it?
This location was originally Larry Lemick's place. My dad worked for him as a kid, and then he came in here and rented a side. And then Ed DeGata, he's got a son in the racing division too. He rented the other side, and then now my father rents it on his own. This car, we bought this from Norm Sears drove it. It was from Art Salve, the number 8 car, and we're probably like 90% there. It's just all cosmetic little things now. We're trying to put in some LED underneath the rack now and trying to put some small things back together. That's my brother's car. So we bought this. This one we bought off of Steve Midford. He ran this last year, the number 3 SK Light.
What's cool is that you got a chance to race your brother in an SK Light, huh?
Yeah, I know. It was a lot of fun to be there with him on, that wasn't championship day, it was fall final weekend, I think. And it was cool to be there with him.
Now this truck back here, a couple of these trucks, are these just business trucks for you guys?
Yeah, these are business trucks. The big sheet metal brake over here, 8-foot, like heavy duty. I don't even remember when or where we got this thing. I think it was down in Norwich or something down that way, but man, it's one heck of a piece of equipment. And then we got cabinets to store more racing parts and everything, so we've got a lot of stuff going on over here. Over here we got my race car toolbox, or ours. My father bought this one, and he bought the main framework and everything off of Bill Anderson, and then he bought this toolbox up in Woodstock somewhere. So we kind of put it all together. My father, he's a pretty good fabricator, and that's mainly, we've got carburetor stuff on the top left over there. We've got some saran wrap for the tires when we're done with sessions and we bring them back to the shop. Our scaling equipment down there, a couple other front end components.
You got some other parts here, like a drive shaft,
yeah, it looks
axles.
Like, yeah, just miscellaneous things.
And now you guys start keeping door panels?
Well, yeah, just a little kind of memory. And we've got our load cell for checking the shocks, checking spring rates and making changes. And then my father yesterday made a big purchase of a freaking CNC mill machine. And he says he wants to make custom parts pretty much for what we're doing racing, like different sway bar arm. And so he got all this equipment that went with it.
He just bought that yesterday?
Yeah, he went and bought this yesterday.
So this whole section is pretty much your kart section, because
Yeah,
I see
that's
the kart
exactly
tires,
right. Yeah.
motors.
Yeah, this is where we used to do all of our main operation of racing. We've got the kart scale table my father fabricated. I think we were going into our second season of racing karts. Like this is like if you were putting a champ kart on here, but when we used to run the wild things, you could move this forward.
Oh.
And then you can have that for the wider. And then the right rear, that can slide all the way over because that right rear sticks way out too, so.
Not many shops have a stove.
Yeah, this stove here is for cooking go-kart tires. It's pretty much trophies galore from Londonderry to Stafford. Mainly, that's our sheet metal shop up top. So we've got our shear. This was in my grandfather's shop for the longest time. You can line them up and get them square here, and then shear them off, shear the sheet metal. We've got a lot of sheet metal over throughout here, and then this is our finger brake. You can take out all the fingers you want to kind of bend the piece how you want it. Oh, I guess this is my father's shrink slash stretcher. This is our belt sander. He loves this thing too. I can't wait to see what we can do and then see what my brother can do out there. That'll be a lot of fun because he knows that he'll have a good car under him.
Well, we can't wait to see what's in store for you guys. You ended the year last year in Victory Lane. Let's see if more is to come in 2025, Josh. Thanks for having us here at the shop.
Yeah, thank you.
Won the final event of the SK Light Modified season last year back in October, and Josh looking to hopefully continue that momentum during the off season into a new year. So we thank Josh and the entire Morrison family for taking us around their race shop just about a month or so ago as they prep for this year.
Sure does. And of course, we're going to be taking a lot of looks behind the scenes during the course of 2025 here at the Half Mile. So stay tuned and be with us and be a part of the festivities. As we said before, we will begin our 2025 Friday night program with racing opening up on Friday night, May 9th. There will also be a Friday night event on the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. May 9th and May 16th will be regular Friday night events with 5 weekly divisions of competition as well. Then on the 23rd, we'll be back with the SK Light Double Down, the first of 2 40-lap feature events. And Kyle, we've enjoyed them in the past. They really come out in full force to be a part of the festivities.
Yeah, Brian Sullivan had those 40-lappers figured out
for
quite some time. That's on May 23rd, AZ Roofing Kids Night to wrap up the month of May on May 30th. Let's go down to, what do you say, another race shop?
I think we do. Let's see what we've got in store as we go behind the scenes for more of what goes on in the off-season and what preparation and how these shops look.
This next one with Robert Bloxham.
What's up, race fans? We're in Canaan, Connecticut at the headquarters of RB3 Racing. That is Robert Bloxham III, one of our newest winners at Stafford Speedway in the SK Light division, and he's going to show off this shop to us. So before we get going with that, why don't you tell us the history of this building?
Yeah, so this is a railroad town. This used to have a train come right through the back here. And, you know, they did all sorts of things with the limestone mine here and whatnot. So this place was a mess when we got here. And slowly it's turned into a presentable race shop. And, you know, I don't think anybody in the town's seen this place look this good in a long time.
We have your SK Light from Stafford. Why don't you tell us the history about this car?
Yeah, so we got this car from Zach Asklar. I'm familiar with the 08 style Troyer, so that's why we chose to go with this car. It's a little bit more realistic for us to get than to go buy a new chassis.
Yep.
I completely rebuilt everything. Anything that you could point to was new at the start of the last year because I didn't want to run into issues. Dell's Vinyl Siding decided that he wanted me to race at Waterford Speed Bowl more. We partnered up. We went and got this, and I'm going to be building another SK Light to be running weekly there. So this is our new work area. That is actually an original workbench to this shop that I remanufactured a little bit, ran it through my planer, made it a little bit nicer. You need a nice, clean place to work when we're tearing things apart, rebuilding rear ends, you know, whatever. That's a new bench, just built it recently in the remodeling stage. So we were thinking of turning it into a drill press area, metalworking station.
And y'all got your own welder?
Yeah, that started from the limited late models where beating and banging I had to keep making bumpers every week. That's from the first limited late model we had.
Got a little trophy shelf over here as well?
Yeah, we got a couple. We've lost some in the move when we were moving, and at least they're mostly winners. My father and I split these toolboxes because I mean, growing up, we had toolboxes that the drawers came out sideways. They were all messed up.
And then this is the other toolbox you're talking about. You said you were splitting toolboxes?
Yeah, so this is gonna be my race car area. Frame savers, we call them.
Yeah.
I think I got that word from the late model days. I need floor space. I don't have a lot of floor space for two cars, so, you know, got some shelving units, put them up there and store whatever we need. We got some scale pad roll-offs. This floor is not level by any means. Absolutely had to get them so that I could laser level them to each other and actually know where the car is. If I'm not working, I'm in here working on race cars. I bring my truck in, I work on my truck, my car, my father's truck or car. I can't wait. I mean, we know a couple things that we're gonna change to it to try to make it better. We got a win. I definitely want more. I want a championship. I've never won a championship in my career. I think that we can do it in the SK Lights for sure. Those winner stickers are very nice to look at, but I'd like some more.
Well, let's see what you got for 2025, Rob. Thanks for having us here at the shop, and we wish you the best.
Yeah, thank you.
24 years old from Milford, Connecticut. Robert Bloxham III picked up that SK Light Modified win last September 13th, and he mentioned a lot of late model opportunities here at the racetrack over the years. A two-time limited late model winner coming back in 2017, and has been getting better and better in the open
Certainly
wheel
has.
ranks here these last couple of seasons.
A very talented young man, and it's nice to see a traditional old good time shop prepared by dad and a son. And, of course, a lot of good things are going to come out of that shop. It's just a matter of time. Our good buddy Bonza is down there in the infield area with camera in hand. He is going to be covering the entire dimension of pit road throughout this afternoon's event for us. We look forward to seeing those great shots and much, much more as we continue to work in preparation of getting everything set for this afternoon's event. We will try to make up the time that we've lost by keeping things moving very efficiently. So now is the perfect opportunity and the perfect time to head down to the Midway, get yourself something good to eat or drink. And of course, the Double Hook Bar is open at this time. Viewing stations are available to enjoy the racing from that location as well. You'll see the big Sunoco tent for souvenir items next to the ice cream and popcorn stand, directly diagonally across. At an angle is the official souvenir location for all of the Team Stafford souvenir items and souvenirs of your favorite drivers as well. We appreciate those of you that when you came through the gates that were fortunate enough to get NAPA hats, courtesy of your local NAPA Auto Parts stores. They are the official parts suppliers with NAPA Auto Care, the #1 name in the industry. Look for that blue and gold.
I'd like to welcome back our pit reporters again for another season. John Gates and Dave Barabalt with us here in 2025. We'll check in with them here in just a few minutes and get some stories from behind the scenes. I know a lot has already happened here this morning in practice. Unfortunately, a couple of cars going off on the hook, and we hope to see them back in time for heat race or feature action here later this afternoon, part of the huge field of SK lights and SKs that we have here today.
In case you missed it, the story is 165 plus cars assembled in the paddock area. Open modifieds 39, SKs 29, SK lights 38, limited late models 20, late models 16, and of course the street stocks 23. 165 is a huge turnout for a single one-day event. It's a record-breaking attendance, and everybody is working very feverishly and orderly behind the scenes. And it's fair to say, Kyle, they go from where you see Manafort all the way around to the main ticket booth.
And there are some teams that are intending to compete here each and every Friday night that for one reason or another couldn't be here today. We're planning on competing yesterday and just couldn't make the Sunday race program work for their schedule. So there's even more teams that we expect to be regulars, especially in the limited late models and the late models that were unable to make it here today due to the postponement. But we'll be anxious to see them in a couple weeks' time when we get going on Fridays.
We certainly will. And remember, if you'd like to be a part, or if you're planning a special gathering or get-together, a corporate night or any of the above, call the Speedway office. We'll be more than glad to assist you and work with you in any way possible. And remember, the best way to obtain and sell your product is to advertise with us here at the Stafford Speedway.
So we expect the first heat race to roll out onto the racetrack here in just a moment. It looks like all the safety teams or the safety crews getting back behind the pit wall, including those Monaco Ford safety trucks. And all of the track drying apparatus, including those big tires, have been unhooked, and hopefully those that'll last. The last time we'll need those tires here for quite some time.
It is not your imagination that we are now seeing a peak of sun overshadowing us here, and we love that for a whole bunch of different reasons. So it should be very, very soon that we'll get things fired back up. In case you haven't noticed, the mini mile, better known as the Manafort mini mile here at the Stafford Speedway, has gotten better and bigger, and it is going to be one of the fastest kart tracks in the country when things get kicked off. And Kyle, you have the honor and the pleasure of dealing with a bunch of those young folks, generation after generation, and they are really excited about this new racetrack.
It's amazing how many of those Monday night drivers from years ago are now competing here in our weekly divisions on Spring Sizzler Sunday or our Friday night race programs, including a couple of new names this season, including junior outlaw competitor Dylan Houghton. Also, Colton Gambacorta, who is a two-time champion there on Monday nights, moving up into the street stocks. So I feel like maybe 50 to 60% of our regular weekly drivers on the half mile were groomed right here on the mini mile on Monday nights, and our first Monday night program with Wild Thing Karts set for May 20th, our opening night. You can learn more about the Wild Thing Kart program down on the Midway at their display behind the Turn 4 grandstand.
You certainly can, and be a part, come out. It's the best form of family fun and entertainment, and it happens on those Monday nights, so please come out and be early. We've just been given the qualifying heat lineup for the 4 open modified qualifying heats, and impressively, the first qualifying round is going to see Ronnie Williams and Michael Christopher Jr. at the point. The second qualifying heat, Joey Cipriano and Dana DiMatteo will be leading them to green. And our third qualifying round, Austin Beers and Sammy Ramo. The fourth qualifier, Marcello Rafano and Stephen Kopsik. That's just the front rows. We're not going to tell you the rest. We're going to make you wait for those. But right now, no waiting. Let the fun, the enthusiasm, and the SK lights begin now.
These next 4 qualifying heat races will set the starting lineups for not 1 but 2 feature events here later this afternoon. Scheduled to start on the pole, car number 35 from Ashford, Connecticut, the Tolland County Foundation replacement car for Josh Morrison.
Car number 75 starts outside of row number 1. That is the Jim Shapani family racing car. Rusty Madison owns the car for Casey Vogue.
Car number 48 scheduled to start in the 3rd spot. A brand new car for this driver for this season from West Springfield, Massachusetts. The Alina Bryden Racing entry for Alina Bryden.
Former standout of this division, the Askler Webb Racing, number 28 from Newtown, Connecticut, Zach Askler.
5th starter, the 07 from right here in Stafford Springs, the A-plus fire protection car for Austin Goff.
One of the outstanding female drivers is next, the Karsten Cole Racing car. Kenny Berry owns it from Westbrook, Connecticut, car 31, Karsten Cole.
And in the inside of the next row, the 09 from Westbrook, Connecticut. That is the Cassandra Cole Racing sponsored car. Karsten's sister, Cassandra Cole, will start from 7.
Starting in the 8th position, this gentleman is one of the all-time winners. The Vernon Chevrolet machine from Stafford Springs, Connecticut. The first competitor of car number 29, Chris Matthews.
Scheduled to start 9th, but was involved in a practice crash earlier today, and I don't see him on the racetrack. One of our rookies from Springfield, Massachusetts, the Body Works Unlimited car for Dylan Houghton.
And starting scratch, car number 08 out of Goshen, Connecticut, the AZ Roofing Company machine for Sophia Pep. Car 08 picks up at the rear of the field. 10 cars. The story in this one is all cars will transfer. Ladies and gentlemen, first qualifying round of 2025 in side-by-side pursuit. Pace car dives to the inside. Here is Kyle Rickey with the start of this year's SK Light Modified Division from the half mile.
Josh Morrison, Casey Vogt 1 and 2. Green is up and we are underway. Heat racing for the SK Light Modifieds as they go to turn 1 for the first time. Morrison with the jump on the bottom. Vogt slides up high just a bit. Zach Asklar will slide in the line in 3rd, just in front of Goff in the 4th spot.
There's no question down to the bottom of turn number 3. Top 4 cars nose to tail. One car drifts up high on the outside. Sideways coming off the turn. Chris Matthews, car number 28, is loose. Gathers it back up front. Bid for the 3rd position. Good battle right there. Bottom of turn 3.
There we go to turn number 3. Matthews, the all-time winningest driver in this division, was the car out of shape a lap ago. Siblings go side by side here for position number 5. Cassandra Cole to the inside of brother Karsten. Same time, races on for 2nd. That's on your screen right now. Asklar to the inside of Vogt for the runner-up spot.
There's no question about it. Good racing there. Askler moves to the bottom, picks up 2nd. Who's there with him? Doing a great job is Austin Goff. Goff, who learned his skills well, obviously from last season, he makes a bid for 3rd. Down the back straightaway. This time, cross flags will greet the Josh Morrison team as they come off turn number 4, single file among the top 5.
There comes Cassandra Cole off of turn number 4, closing in on Austin Goff for that 4th spot. Goff has it, Cole wants it. The only driver to go to the outside lane early in this race and make it work. Making the low lane work now off of turn number 2 is Cassandra Cole.
Cassandra Cole bids for it down underneath Goff. They are side by side and wheel to wheel. Story is a battle for 4th. Cassandra Cole moves into the 4th spot. Goff continues to fight back. No, not able to make the move. Back up front. 2-lap signal is being given from the starter's stand. Off the turn, Askler is reeling in on Morrison. Morrison leads the pack.
Josh Morrison out front has led all the laps thus far. He's about to have company at the front of the field. Zach Asklar closing in to within 2 car lengths. 2 more back to Vogt. And Cassandra Cole, the front 4, coming to the white flag.
The white flag is out, but there's no surrendering among the top 5 positions here. Bottom of turn number 1, Morrison has been the dominant car so far. Cassandra Cole trying to reel in on Casey Vogt. Deep into turn number 3, final time, checkered flag is about to wave.
Here they come off of turn 4. Checkered flag is up. Josh Morrison has led all the laps, including the final one. He will pick up the Heat Race 1 win over Zach Asklar in 2nd. second, Casey Vogt in third, Cassandra Cole in fourth, and Austin Goff completed the top 5.
Just out of the top 5, Chris Matthews, disappointing run for 6th. Sophia Papp, good run for 7th. Karsten Cole for 8th. And Aleden Bryden to round out the top 9. Round number 2, waiting for the curtain call. Let's get to the starting lineup.
Another 10 cars looking to take the green flag here in Heat Race 2 and scheduled to start on the pole from Tolland, Connecticut. Supreme Industries providing the sponsorship for the driver of the 82 for Paula Root.
Savage Ventures brings us car number 92 from Nashville, Tennessee. It is David Webb.
Third starter, car number 70 from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, Mayberry Material handling the entry for Wade Gagner.
Starting in the 4th position, car number 88, the FRL Motorsports machine. That's the Grismala and LaFour car. Out of Coventry, Connecticut, car 88, Frank Latois Jr.
Fifth starter, car number 46 from Tolland, Connecticut, Monaco Ford to bring us Brian Sullivan, starting into the inside of that third row.
In the 6th starting spot, car number 42, the Calagianis Racing Machine from New Hartford, Connecticut, Stephen Calagianis.
7th starter, car number 16 from Champlin, Connecticut, the Busy Bees Learning Center car for Nicholas Hovey.
Now starting in the 8th position, 4 rows back to the outside, Talking Trash Dumpster Rentals, number 3 from Ellington, Connecticut, Steve Midford.
And car number 67 goes to the inside of the next row. That is Dean Lambros behind the wheel of that car here today.
And starting scratch, the Akari Motor Sales Machine from Somers, Connecticut, Paul Akari, car number 55. That is your lineup for round number 2. Story is the same, 8 circuits, all cars transfer. It's key to finish among the top positions if you want to anticipate and be up front in the main events, not one, but 2 main events today for these outstanding competitors.
A couple of new looks for some teams out there this season, including Paula Root on the pole, changing the design up along with Nicholas Hovey in car number 16, who will start to the inside of row number 4.
And Paul Akari, a beautiful paint scheme on that car, is at the rear of the field. He was involved in an altercation with a track rental and did severe damage to the car. But the Chassis Pro people got it back and dialed in for the competition here as well. Let's see what's going to happen. Lights are off on the safety vehicle provided by Wheelan Engineering. The safety lights around the facility. Here they come, Kyle. Round number 2. About to click off and go green.
Paula Root, David Webb, front row, green flag is up. We are back underway here in the second qualifying event for the SK Light Modifieds, and it is dead even as they go to turn 1 for the first time. Webb hanging tough in the outside lane. That is until they get to turn 2, where Paula Root will jump out front and lead the pack into the corner.
Look at the battle that is shaped up. Oh, trouble now. Up into the lane of fire in the outside lane. And the entanglement is what we see. Cars involved include the number 70 car. That, of course, is a Wade Gagner machine.
Kologianis to the outside of Wade against the outside wall in the 42. I believe that's the 3 of Steve Midford. Behind them was the final car involved.
Yes. So 3 cars involved. 1 car literally got away down on pit road. And that car, you can see suspension damage done to the right front suspension. And we believe that that machine is the Frank Latois machine that was involved. And yes, there's the 88. You're looking at it. Right front wheel is kind of peeled back. Home-built race car. 3 generations of his family involved on both sides of his family as well. So the yellow is out. Safety Services and Monaco Ford Safety Services crew are there. Paula Root's number 82. We talked about that car. And the Johnson group maintaining that car for him and working with him on it. David Webb calls his home Nashville, Tennessee, but in reality, Askler and him have a racing operation down in the other end of the state of Connecticut, down by Newtown. So a lot of history there. Came up as many times as possible, but plans on running a full season here in 2025. Wade Gagner the man who is instrumental in the Monday Night Kart program, just loves to go racing. Biggest smile you'll ever see in his face. Truly one of the nice guys. And there is the number 3 car. That, of course, being brought back on the hook. Heartbreaking for Steve Mitford. That car is prepared and put together by another former legendary driver and fabricator and race car builder. That's Tommy Bowles. And that car is maintained out of the Bowles stables as well. So tough situation there to start off the season. No place to go. No one's fault. These things somehow take their toll. And you know, we've talked about it so many times before that, Kyle, when we look at the lineup in this division, one of the cars that stands out, not because it's among the brightest cars in the field with its pink and black color combination, is Nicholas Hovey. Hovey in the offseason in February went to New Smyrna and competed with their group, which are similar but not the same. They're spec type modifieds running on much narrower tire, and did exceptionally well, pretty much dominated the racing action. We direct your attention to the big screen. Here is the replay. Going into turn number 1, white car on the inside. Drifts up a lane, the brakes lock. That is the 88 of Frank Latois. Wade Gagner had no place to go, and they're still working to try to get those 2 cars entangled, Kyle. And obviously going into that turn when he got hard on those brakes, you could see the smoke and the left front wheel just lock up, and that forced him to drift up a lane. And now they are working to try to get these 2 cars that are left separated.
Latois going after the second spot when that incident broke out over in turn 3, was racing with David Webb. Like you mentioned, had to check up just a bit, and unfortunately everybody else stacked up behind him, including Wade Gagner and Stephen Klogianis, that are still against the outside wall over in turn number 3 as we get a look at another angle.
Different angle here. White car to the inside. There it locks up, goes up high, and then no place to go. Everybody got jammed up and locked together, and that's exactly what they're trying to do right now, is separate the 2, the Mayberry number 70 car and the rub rails on the side of the car. Looks like they've been able to break free with that.
Again, everybody will qualify for one of the 2 featured events later today.
But this is not the way that these folks wanted to start.
The problem is, if you get behind in the heat and have damage, you can't run the feature later today.
Yes.
Then that puts you further behind going into the opening Monday night 30-lap feature event. So we'll see how this affects teams as we'll get a look at another angle of the incident up in turn number 3. And this is from our infield camera.
Now
and again, that battle for second is where it starts.
Watch the white car to the inside, the 88. Then when he gets on those binders, it just locks up, and it literally throws the car to the outside of the racetrack. When that happens, the whole situation is out of control, and unfortunately, they all come together there. And now the problem is the Wade Gagner car was locked with its rub rails on the right side to the left side rails of the other car that is wedged to the top side of the racetrack. So
Stephen Klogianis, the 42 car. Midford has been moved to the infield. In fact, we've lost 4 of the original 10 starters.
And it appears that Wade Gagner's car is now being brought by the hook, and the final car, which it's never a good sign at all for Stephen with the number 42 car, as he looks like it's going to be a double hook. Not the one that you would like to take place in the grandstand area at the double hook bar.
It's amazing when the grandstand gates opened at 11 o'clock, the first place most people went, is to claim their table at the
Yes.
double hook bar, because that
Yep,
seems to be one of the most popular spots to enjoy the races here at the Speedway ever since it debuted a couple of years ago.
Sure is, and there we can see the final car, and then Wade Gagner's number 70, the Mayberry Associates car.
Let's check in with Dave Barabalt over in the pit area.
Well, I'm down here actually on pit road, guys, talking to Frank Latoile. And Frank, can you take us through what happened with the number 88?
Got a heck of a run out of 2. Had the lane down below the 92, and he just decided to take a left. And then whatever happened, we got locked up or something. I don't know. It just kind of stinks. But I guess next time I'm there, I just toss it right front through somebody's windshield, and that's the only way to take it.
Now, you were able to at least limp back here to pit road. Is this something you think that's maybe fixable to get back for the feature?
Yeah, I sure hope so. We got a fast car now. It's just you got to drive like a complete idiot in these divisions. And, you know, you can't give any space. You can't take it. I don't really know. It just kind of sucks.
Well, guys, there you hear the words of Frank Latoile. Obviously not the way he wanted to start out the 2025 race season.
And we're only in the second heat race, Ben
We
Dodge.
are, and you can understand how upsetting it is. You work all winter long in preparation to get here, go fast. He said he had a fast race car. His view, of course, from behind the seat is a little different than maybe the view that we have from Broadcast Central, or that anyone else might have from the grandstand area. So
14-time winner here at Stafford Speedway for Frank Latoile. Most of those coming in the street stocks. 13, in fact, one limited late model win. Former street stock champion, unfortunately out before it even really gets going here this afternoon. As what's left of the field gets the one to go signal, Paula Root will lead the fields to the green flag next time by.
Certainly will. So they are ready. Lights are off on the safety vehicle, an indication that that car is going to dive to the center of the infield, and we will be ready to fire them back up. Webb is on the outside, and of course, Paula Root on the inside. Then two of the big guns, and those guns are loaded. Brian Sullivan on the inside, former champion and front runner in the 46 car, and Nicholas Hovey right there contending to the outside of row number 2. 6 cars, mighty and strong. They come off turn 4. Green flag is out.
And again, it's Paula Root with the inside jump as they go to turn number 1. Webb will backslide into the second spot and find pressure from Brian Sullivan to his inside. Sullivan up to second. Sullivan challenging for the lead halfway up the back straightaway for the first time.
Brian Sullivan made it look so easy. He dive bombs to the inside, takes over the lead. 3 wide almost. Nicholas Hovey almost makes contact with the wall. That changes things. Up to the third position is David Webb. Webb setting in third. Moving now forward is Dean Lambros. Lambros driving one of the former Farino cars. Here comes Hovey. Hovey's got an evil race car, Kyle. He is all over the racetrack.
Nearly collected the outside wall a lap ago for Hovey. Falls just inside of the top 5 right now. Fifth car in line, up the back straightaway, just in front of Paul Arcari in the 55, the last car running. Battle for second is Best. Stepping out of line is Farino to the inside of Webb, just ahead of Hovey. That is third, fourth, and fifth.
They continue to create their magic as they work their magic and head down the back straightaway. Trouble now. We've got a 360 spin. Arcari goes on by.
That's Lambros.
And Lambros is among the cars. This time, halfway down and halfway to go. Brian Sullivan, last lap, is the quickest on the racetrack. 19.487. He leads by 9/10 over Paula Root in second.
Root in second, Webb in third, and he's about to find some pressure from a fast closing Nicholas Hovey in the 4th spot. Then the battle for 5th, Arcari and Lambros, 5th and 6th, well behind the race leaders as we're into the final couple laps, and here comes Hovey to the inside.
Hovey continues to work his magic. Hovey had an evil tire, an evil car. Trouble now, as now the 92 of David Webb goes spinning. Nicholas Hovey comes off the turn, and the caution flag comes out from the starter stand.
Came together while battling for third. Hovey to the inside of Webb. Contact was made, and around went the 92.
And there's Frank Latoile there down on pit road, looking at the situation and looking at things, talking with a fellow competitor.
That's Kologiannis, also involved in the early race incident. Believe we'll have a penalty coming for Hovey. We'll see in the 16.
Nicholas Hovey's car was literally evil today, right from the start of this qualifying event. Almost made contact with the outside wall, was able to gather it back. Next time by, car got really loose on him and snapped right around in the Casella waste machine. And we don't usually see him have a problem with the handles of that race car. Todd Saravello, the father-in-law of Keith Rocco, helps assist with that car in the rental program for Keith Rocco Racing.
And Hovey maintaining his spot in the 3rd position on the racetrack. It looks like they're going to shuffle things up a bit.
And Hovey has received the consultation flag and the venue there, drops to the rear of the field.
And the field will get the 1-to-go signal this time by. There's the official black flag for the 16 from Bill Long atop the starter stand. We'll get a look at a replay of it here in just a moment as we're a lap shy of resuming this event. We'll get a look at a replay as we are coming back to the green. And here's the contact over in turn number 4.
Webb goes spinning 360. Hovey tried to make the move on the bottom. They did touch in some shape or form. Akari drops off the pace. And we are back up to green. And all of a sudden, Dean Lambros has moved into second. He came out of nowhere, Kyle, to take over the runner-up spot.
Moved around Paul LaRoute, as does Nicholas Hovey, as he tries to move his way back up through the field. White flag is out, 1 lap to go for Brian Sullivan. One of the early favorites coming into the day, and he is showing why. In car number 46, he leads up the backstretch for the final time in this qualifying event.
Deep into turn number 3, Story is still a battle for second. Checkered flag is out. Hovey makes a late event charge, but it does not work. Brian Sullivan will take down the win. Dean Lambros, a great comeback to finish in second. Nicholas Hovey to finish in third. Paul LaRoute for 4th, and David Webb for 5. Kyle?
Paul Arcari finished in the 6th spot, a couple laps down. Wade Gagner did not complete a lap, along with Frank Latwell, Stephen Kologiannis, and Steve Midford, all collected in that lap one incident over in turn number 3.
So coming out next will be our 3rd qualifying round for the SK Light Division. When they come onto the racetrack, Robert Bloxham III out of Milford, Connecticut, in the Dell's vinyl siding car, will bring the field to green.
Outside of the front row, car 51 from Norwich, Connecticut, the SAB Tree Experts entry for Matt Brewer.
GRE 6 is among the sponsors of the Windsor, Connecticut driver of car number 50, and that is Peter Bennett.
Car number 34 will go next from Oxford, Massachusetts, the Absolute Group of Companies car for Dalton McCarthy.
3 rows back to the inside, the McKinney construction car. Rory West prepares it from Colchester, Connecticut, car 15. Amanda West.
6-starter car number 45 from New Hartford, Connecticut, the Chikoski Racing car for Ed Chikoski.
And Glace Racing brings us the Yukon Special, car number 10 from Seymour, Connecticut for Nick and Glace.
And to the outside of row 4, car 64 from Manchester, Connecticut, the Finkbein Racing car for Jason Finkbein.
And then we go to car number 79. Starting scratch, it'll be Adriana Kimmer from Thomaston, Connecticut, in the Dell's final siding car, the Scott Kimmer-owned race car.
Adriana making her debut with us here today. And she'll start at the tail of the field in car number 79. Talked to Amanda West in our pre-race show earlier today. She's excited about to start the new season after having a career year a year ago that included her first win. Also finishing top 5 in the championship standings, so we'll keep an eye on car number 15 when we go green here in just over a lap from now.
Well, there from the starter stand, Mike Helbert telling the field to cross over and tighten up. Big sponsorship goes out to Nick Anglace, the good folks from UConn. The athletic department going on board with him. He'll be competing in 2 divisions. Very excited and very worthy of the efforts to get that sponsorship on his behalf.
Women's basketball team and just, picked up a little championship a couple weeks ago and another national title for the UConn Huskies, and UConn well represented on that number 10 car here this season. As the pace car is in, Bloxham and Brewer on the front row, set for the start of qualifying race number 3.
Green flag is out, and Robert Bloxham leads the charge to the bottom of turn number 1. Meanwhile, on the inside, here comes Peter Bennett, orange car. But guess who's already rising to the top of the field? Amanda West.
A couple of former Carters going at it for 3rd and 4th. Brewer sliding back to 4th. Amanda West moving to his inside a half a lap ago to take that position away. And now we'll close in on Peter Bennett, who is in 2nd, challenging Bloxham for the race lead as they come back off the corner. And another car into the outside wall up in turn number 3.
It is Eddie Shikoski with the number 45 car. We just kind of caught the tail end of that. We're not sure exactly what did take place there. Just to the left of the New England Racing Fuels Sunoco billboard. Speaking of those good folks, plenty of Sunoco and Monaco Modified Series souvenirs available next to the popcorn and ice cream stand, the top of the midway.
Chikoski, 47 years old, from New Hartford, Connecticut, has been competing in this division since 2017. Looking for that first win. Has several top 10s to his credit, but winless in 74 starts coming into today's race program for Ed Chikoski, who finds the outside safer wall up in turn number 3. So a tough break for the driver of car number 45. You're watching the race leader. For those watching at home on FloRacing, driver of car number 32, the race leader, Robert Bloxham III, as Jason Finkbein will receive the black flag after his involvement in the incident and will restart at the tail end of the field. Bloxham, the race leader, picked up a win late last season in September. We got a good look at his race shop a little bit ago during our delay. We'll get a look at a replay and see what happened up in turn number 3.
Well, we're looking at it. Comes down to the inside, back end starts to snap around, and Chikoski goes in the upper lane, and the damage is done. We're looking at now the other side of the Jason Finkbein machine. Does not appear to have any severe damage done to that race car as well. If you just joined us on Flow, I'm Ben Dodge, along with Kyle Rickey, Dave Barabalt, and John Gates. Will be covering the action down on Pit Road. We are part of the festivities, 165 cars strong for the greatest race in the history of spring, the 53rd NAPA Auto Parts Spring Sizzler. Not too early to come out and still join us here in the grandstand. We'd love to see you, and of course, we want to see you here. And don't forget, we take a Friday off, and then we come back and do it all over again for the first Friday night program.
That is on May 9th. To kick us off through the month of May, we'll have 4 race programs in the month of May. Regular Friday night racing on the 9th and the 16th. Monaco Ford SK Light Double Down on May 23rd. And then always fun, the AZ Roofing Kids Night, where we get the kids on the big wheels here on the front straightaway.
We love that.
That's a good time. And so that'll take place the last Friday night in May.
We've also just received some information concerning, you might have wondered why Matt Swanson and Gary Casella's car did not come out in the modified division. That is the red 25 car, the Mully's prepared car. They had to go back to their home garage to get the other car because they had an engine problem. They're on their way back as we speak, and hopefully we wish them the best to make it. So there's the story on Matt Swanson's number 25 car, and we appreciate the relationship that Kyle and I have with a lot of these teams and competitors. So they provide us with information during the course of a racing event to keep you, the fans, updated and give us the facts and the figures there as well.
And if any team wants to see a couple of these caution flags,
it's that team.
It is that team right now, as they have a lot of work to do to prepare for the rest of the day's events for Matt Swanson and that 25 bunch. As we continue under the caution flag, we mentioned Adriana Kimmer making her debut here at Stafford earlier in the starting lineup. She is crossing the start-finish line right now in that 79 car. Just 15 years of age from Thomaston, Connecticut. Has raced in the past in these SK Light Modifieds down in Waterford, and we welcome her to the Stafford Speedway here this season.
Sure does, and she's one of those young ladies who you talk to her, she said, I'm not interested in going out and creating waves. I want to just get some seat time, and when I feel that I'm going to be more than competitive, then I will put on a charge to get to the front. Ed Chikoski, a businessman by trade, with the number 45 car. Very consistent guy, Kyle. You pointed it out with looking at some of his stats and everything else, and this is not the way he wanted to start it. Apparently, the toughest point of the racetrack seems to be turns 3 and 4.
That's the second double hook that we've had here in 3 qualifying events up at that end of the speedway. Ed Chikoski being the latest of them in car number 45. As he'll be moved back to the pit area, we'll get the 1-to-go signal and double the field up here on the front stretch.
Car 34, before we go back to green, Dalton McCarthy. That is a former Adam Scavora car that literally competing in that automobile was, of course, Ronnie Williams, who is one of the toughest competitors here at Stafford over the years in all the divisions he's competed in. And they are pumped up and excited about getting ready for this season. And that car has a ton of history. Speaking of history, let's see if we get a good historic run right to the checker. 2 of the 8 circuits are complete. Off turn 4, Mike Holberg and Bill Long staring them down.
Bloxham and Bennett, front row. Green flag is back up with Amanda West right there in position number 3 in car number 15 as they go back to turn number 1. Bloxham will get the jump. West will try to follow him through to the runner-up position. Bennett stuck in the outside lane, beginning to fade just a bit, although now hangs tough with Amanda for second before having to give way by the time they get back to the front stretch.
Here comes Ann Glace. He's right in there as well, along with Matt Brewer with the 51 car. Testing the waters, it is Dalton McCarthy. Can't do it, nose to tail. It is Bennett all over the back bumper of Amanda West. Amanda looks down low underneath Robert Bloxham. Bottom of turn number 1. Rim rides to the inside. Can't do it. Going, gone. It is Bloxham down the back straightaway.
West in second, under fire from Bennett to her outside. Anglace, best seat in the house, in position number 4 in car number 10. Just past the halfway mark of this event. And Amanda West will hang on to the second spot, losing a bit of ground to Bloxham, who just set the fastest lap of the race.
There's no question. Really good competitive racing there. Here comes, stepping out of line, inside lane, Peter Bennett. Moves to the bottom, contact is made. Amanda West goes around, and Glace sneaks by. We go to yellow. Well, Amanda West had a great run going, and we're going to have to take a quick look at the replay on that one because it appeared that there might have been some contact, Kyle.
Yeah, indeed, with, I believe, Peter Bennett in the number 50 car to the inside of the 15 of Amanda West. Contact was made. Amanda got turned around off of turn number 4, now turns the car back into the right direction. where she'll have to restart at the tail end of the field.
And she does get it fired back up. And we're looking, great shot of it. Doesn't look like there is a lot of severe damage done, but looking at the inside, at the left front and the left rear. And with 3 circuits remaining, 1.5 miles left, you can almost bank on the fact that Amanda West will be coming back towards the front of this field.
Well, she's going to catch up to the tail end of the field, and we'll realign them here in another lap or so.
We're sure in race control they're reviewing the tapes at this time to make sure that they have the proper findings before we go back to green flag competition. Chris Gambato is there.
There's the black flag.
Here it is again. And it goes to car number 50. Peter Bennett will drop to the rear of the field. He's got a racy race car and a fast race car, so he too will be heading forward. Again, 5 of 8 laps complete. Dalton McCarthy moves up to the outside of that 4th position. And now we're going to see what race control saw. Bennett goes to the inside, washes up. Contact is made. The end results is Amanda West was the victim of circumstances there, but Peter Bennett is not done by any stretch of the imagination here.
So that'll move Brewer up to 3rd in car number 51. McCarthy in 4th in the 34. Finkbein in 5th. Kimmer in 6th. Then West and Bennett.
And as we said, 2 of the fastest cars in the house. Robert Bloxham clicked off the fastest lap as the leader earlier. Peter Bennett, last circuit by, was 2nd fastest. Now he's at the rear of the field. Amanda West had a very quick race car. So just settling in as it looks like we are about ready to get back on the throttle. Bloxham along with Nick Anglaise and Dalton right there with that 34 car. Dalton McCarthy moves quickly into 3rd.
Anglaise moving in the line in the 2nd spot in car number 10. Thought he might challenge for the race lead on Bloxham there for a moment. Coming to 2 laps to go. Bloxham, Anglaise, McCarthy, and Brewer, the front 4 as they go back to turn number 1, all singled out. Top 2 beginning to break away.
Little further back in the field, Amanda West, along with the Bennett machine, working its magic to the front. White flag is out. 1 lap to go.
And battle for the lead in turn number 1. Here's Anglaise to the inside. Didn't have enough momentum to make it stick on the bottom. Bloxham, topside in car 32, hangs on to the race lead.
Here they come off turn number 4. Checkered flag is out. A close one, but Robert Bloxham will take down the victory. Nick Anglaise, great run for 2nd. Dalton McCarthy to finish a competitive 3rd. Matt Brewer to finish in 4th. And Jason Finkbein to round out the top 5.
Peter Bennett finished in 6th. Amanda West in 7th. Adriana Kimmer in 8th. And Ed Chikoski to round out the 9-car field in heat race number 3. For the SK Light Modifieds, that means, Ben, we're down to 1.
We sure are. Qualifying heat number 4, a veteran, car number 98, will be starting at the point. The Sears & Sons landscaping car from Coventry, Connecticut, Norm Sears.
And his outside car number 2 from Auburn, Massachusetts, the Propane Plus PT Watts car for Megan Fuller.
Let's take a look at row number 2, car number 76, Constantine Paving and Sealing from Ellington, Connecticut, the 76 car for Ron Mitford Jr.
Fourth starter, car number 21 from Wolcott, Connecticut, the Sammy Anderson racing car for Sammy Anderson.
Starting in the 5th spot, 3 rows back on the inside, Wicked Power Sports from East Hartford, Connecticut, car number 87, Joey Farino.
6th starter, car number 52 from Waterbury, Connecticut, the Robo's Auto Center car for Anthony Farino.
Then we go to the 7th starter, car number 8, the Rose Brothers Garage Machine from Willington, Connecticut, Aiden DeGata.
And his outside 8th starter, car 25 from Ashford, Connecticut, the Tolland County Foundation Replacement Chassis Pro car for Ben Morrison.
And starting scratch, the AJ's Karting Machine from North Haven, Connecticut, Jake Hines, car number 91. So, this is our final SK Light qualifier. The SK Modifieds chomping at the bits behind the curtain. 3 qualifying rounds, ready to do battle. But right now, all eyes are on the SK Light Modifieds, ready to get fired up here in just a moment. Cross flags in hand on the starter stand. Norm Sears, one of the all-time great veteran drivers. Megan Fuller, part of the legendary Fuller Racing family, the daughter of Ricky Fuller. We're all very familiar with, over the years, the success that Rick Fuller had here. His brother Jeff Fuller, Jimmy Fuller, all been involved, instrumental, behind the scenes, behind the wheel, setting up race cars, and the list goes on and on.
Megan, a former winner here at the racetrack in this division, along with in the street stocks, competed for a championship for 3 consecutive years before moving up to the SK Light Modifieds. Here they come off turn 4. Final SK Light Modified heat race is under the green flag.
Megan Fuller with a nice run to the outside of Norm Sears. Norm tries to guard the lane. Megan Fuller up on the wheel, side by side. Down into turn number 3, Megan Fuller. But look at Sears. Here comes Sammy Anderson.
Little bit of contact, that is, between the top 2, Sears and Fuller. And that allowed Sammy Anderson to close back in within a car length of the race leaders, and now challenge for the 2nd spot. Fuller to the outside, Anderson to the bottom, just in front of Ron Mitford in 4th.
Meanwhile, quickly moving into 2nd, Sammy Anderson is there. Mitford follows Anderson through.
And around goes Fuller in turn 1.
Megan Fuller goes around after being so strong in the first 2 laps. Caution flag is out. The Propane Plus number 2 car, P.T. Watts, a long-time associate. And Megan does get it fired back up. So Norm Sears clicked off the quickest lap in 2 with a 20.128. Sammy Anderson quickly moved into 2nd as Ron Mitford, with that number 76 car, quickly moved into 3rd. Jake Hines coming up. Joey Farino, always a factor. And Megan Fuller gets it fired back up and will pick up at the rear of the field. 6 circuits remaining in this one. We're coming to you live from the Stafford Motor Speedway on FloRacing.
Opening day. And a big opening day at that, sponsored by NAPA Auto Parts.
The NAPA Auto Care Center is conveniently located near you. Welcoming you, the race fans. They gave away a ton of hats to the early arrivals who joined us here today. NAPA, get up and go.
And we are a lap and a half away of going again with Norm Sears at the point. Sammy Anderson will restart in 2nd, Mitford in 3rd. Jake Hines, it looks like, will go from position number 4.
Yep. Aiden DeGata is there along with
the 87.
Joey Farino.
Hard to get used to that scheme.
It is a little different than we're used to seeing. Let's see, we're going to get a replay here. Here's our buddy Rob, is re-racking. And watch the white cars there. And there you saw it.
Hines got Fuller just a bit. Contact was made, and around went Megan.
But Megan is back in the 8th position. I don't expect her to stay there very long.
Here they come off turn 4. Norm Sears to bring the field back down to the green flag. Resume this one. Well, he was, and now there's trouble. Midford hard into the outside wall. Front straightaway, a big impact for car number 76, who got turned just shy of the start-finish line.
Heartbreaker for the General Landscaping Machine. Car number 76. And, of course, Constantine Paving and Sealing. And he really hit hard with that 360 pirouette spin. Tough break there. Midford.
And it all happened so fast. We'll see who he had contact with here on the front stretches. They really got jumbled up from Norm Sears on back, who did not come up to speed, and they all stacked up behind that orange 98.
And now we saw one of the individuals with the track crew go over to Norm Sears' car. So maybe the situation and the reason that he slowed on the initial start, and you're looking at it, for those of you watching on Flow, extensive damage done. Ron Midford getting out of the car. He's a police officer by trade in Willimantic, Connecticut, and been involved in the sport for quite some time. Had a tremendous amount of success coming up through the ranks. So heartbreaker for him.
Son Ryan races here on Monday nights in the karts.
Does a good job as well, and definitely the double hooks are getting their workout tonight early, or this afternoon early. Let's take a look at this one and see if we can figure it out. It is a tough one. They come off the turn, wow, and look at, you can see that. Here's another angle here. Midford's car's on the inside. Sears does not start.
Looked like Farino tried to split the gap, and the gap closed, and they made contact. Which sent Midford into the outside wall.
Might not have been totally intentional. And there's the results. The Constantine Paving Machine is severely damaged as it's being brought back to the paddock area at this time. And very heavy contact to the outside retaining wall. And you can see some of the chips that came off the wall from the paint as well. So
a freshly painted wall at that.
Yes. Not a good way to get things kicked off. Yellow flag still being displayed from the starter stand. Shout out to our Stafford ambulance, the infield care center. Those folks work exceptionally hard here and are among the very best of the business. And we were just looking at that Midford car. What a tragedy and shame that is. So.
So it looks like cleanup has been buttoned up here on the front stretch, and we'll go green in about a lap and a half from now, get the field, the 1 to go signal this time by. Still in our first set of heat races. It's been a rough and tumble affair for the SK Lights. This on top of a brief passing shower that delayed the start of the heat races. So
it was the only place in the entire state of Connecticut
that had green on the radar.
Green. So you talk about if it wasn't bad luck, it'd be no luck at all. That was the craziest thing we were looking at and studying it and saying, why? Why us? Okay. Field's told to cross over. Sears, hopefully, he'll get off to a better start this time. Sammy Anderson will be in the front row with him. And then, of course, we'll be taking a look at row number 2. As we are now down to 8 cars. And this is the final SK Light qualifier. As we said before today, a field of SK Lights 38 strong out of the paddock area. 2 feature events. And there is the green. And this time, Sammy Anderson moves to the front of the class. Here comes Joey Farino.
Oh, Farino into the outside wall after a little bit of contact with Sears up the back straightaway. Kicks up a bunch of dirt trying to get to the infield, but pretty good clip for Joey Farino. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get that car back. Looked like the steering was gone on that 87.
So the caution comes out. Joey Farino's right front is peeled back. And guess what? It is a caution situation again.
Just slight contact between the two off of turn number 2 and sent that car hard into the outside wall for Joey Farino and puts us under caution for the second time in 3 laps as they come back off of turn number 4. And we'll line them up again. Sammy Anderson out front, car number 21 over Norm Sears. Aiden DeGata in his sophomore season in the SK Lights.
Doing a good job. And then the 91 of Jake Hines also doing a fine job, turning some heads in the top 4 positions. Monaco Safety Services crew checking out the backstretch because Joey Farino's car kicked up some of the what appeared to be some of the debris up onto the racetrack itself. So they're going to get things back in shape there. And then we'll pick up where we left off.
So cleanup continues, open turn number 4. And tough break for the driver they call the mayor, for Joey Farino, longtime competitor here at the racetrack. And in this SK Light division, he'll have some work to do to get set for the NAPA dual feature events for this division. A lot of right side damage on that car. And again, Ben? One blip.
Yep.
And it's over us.
And
thankfully, it looks like it's going to be light and it's fast moving. So hopefully by the time cleanup is complete over in turn number 4, this cloud will be by us.
Joey Farino had got off to a very good start in this qualifying round. Came off the turn like a rocket in turn 2, and then a little contact there. And the end results, he tried to keep the car on the asphalt, but couldn't as he was down on the grass. And then finally the car came to a screeching halt between, again,
and another double hook,
3 and 4. And I think you might be, no, maybe, no, it is another double hook. From the same location, Kyle.
That is 4 in 4 heat races.
Yes, yes, it is. Joey Farino, truly one of the nice guys in the sport. Not only does he prepare his own race cars, by the way, but he prepares cars for a very successful other team as well. And so it's
his second car of Dean Lambros driving it here today.
And that car was very fast in its qualifying round as well. So they're taking Joey's car back behind the wall. And he'll be working on that. And you can almost guarantee if there's any way possible, he will be back out for those feature events. Now we're going to take a look and see if we can find out what the situation was. There we are coming off the, wow, really a strange thing. It was almost like he came off the turn and the car just drifted up when it did. He hooked the right front, tried to gather it back, but I think it was too late. Here's another look at it. Joey Farino is the black car with neon numbers. And yes, you see that black smudge on the wall? He didn't want that, trust me.
Going to go back under the green flag, this time by Sammy Anderson to bring the fields to the green with Norm Sears to her outside. Aiden DeGata to restart in 3rd.
And then outside in the 4th position, Jake Hines. Then Megan Fuller. Here we go. And quickly, Aiden Degata moves in to try to challenge for second. Sears takes it back, and here comes Megan Fuller. 5th spot, challenging for the 4th position. Jake Hines wheeling it in the outside lane. 2 white cars shadowing each other.
Hines and Fuller for 4th. Top 3 have singled out Megan Fuller, having to fight her way back up through the field after a spin in turn 1 a few laps ago. Going to work on Degata now for 3rd.
She is not going to settle for the 4th position. And either is Jake Hines behind her. Hard on the brakes, some heavy smoke there. 5 of the 8 laps now complete. Twirling 2s, popsicle sticks. 2 circuits to go.
Led by Sammy Anderson. Car number 21, the race leader, Norm Sears, has been able to close to within about 0.4 of a second, but that's it. The last couple laps, about 3 or 4 car lengths back, and then that large gap back to this ongoing battle from 3rd on back, led by Aiden Degata, Megan Fuller, and Jake Hines. White flag, 1 lap to go for the 21 of Sammy Anderson.
Here comes Megan Fuller again to try to challenge Aiden Degata. Degata holds on to the 3rd spot. Here comes Jake Hines. Hottest spot of the racetrack is position 3, 4, and 5. Sammy Anderson takes down the win. Norm Sears, Aiden Degata, and Jake Hines takes down 4th with Megan Fuller in for 5.
Then it was Ben Morrison in 6th, Anthony Farino in 7th, Joey Farino in 8th, Ron Midford 9th. They all had trouble during the course of that qualifying event. So with that, the SK Lights are done, and their feature events are set for later today. The NAPA dual qualifying events, not 1, but 2 feature events for these teams coming up in a little bit.
And there will be 3 qualifying rounds. The story will be 8 laps, 5 cars to transfer. So as this group of cars exit the arena, our first group of SK Modifieds come boldly onto the racetrack. And one of the all-time great veterans, the Avery Construction Corporation, number 10 out of Somers, Connecticut, for Dan Avery, will start at the point.
Well, a lot of veterans on the front row, because to his outside, car number 58 from Riverhead, New York, the GAF roofing car, that is Eric Goodale.
Row number 2 to the inside, the Steer Right Tire and Alignment Machine. From East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, second-generation driver, Dylan Kopech.
Car number 23 will start from 4th from Stafford, Connecticut, the Prucker Motorsports car for Wesley Prucker.
Chassis Pro brings us car number 81. That's the Cooker's Construction Machine. Multiple-time champion from Somers, Connecticut, the Tenacious One. Car 81, Todd Owen.
A longtime veteran of this division will start from 6, car number 96 from Canton, Connecticut, Brainerd Motorsports, to bring us Kurt Brainerd.
And then we go to the 7th starter of the grid. That will be the number 57 from Colchester, Connecticut. That is the Ameritech Contracting car, another Keith Rocco rental. The driver is Paul Kashiba IV.
8th starter, car number 20 from Preston, Connecticut, USNE Power, the entry for Max Zackham.
And driving the Bowles Racing Enterprises, Bowles dealership number 76, the very talented Dylan Izzo starts back in the 9th position.
And last year's SK Light champion moving up and into the SK Modifieds this season, car 41 from Ellington, Connecticut, Chapman Apartment Homes, the entry for Tyler Chapman.
So there you have it, 10 cars in battle for 5 of the handicap preferred starting spots. Now, what does that mean? Simply this: you need to be in the top 5 if you want to start up front in what they call the big dance. And if you're watching home on Flow, this is the division, the SK Modifieds, that everybody in the country talks about. One of the most competitive forms of racing there is in open wheel racing is about to get underway. Off turn number 4, here's Kyle Rickey with the start.
And it's Dan Avery with the race lead by the time they get to turn number 1. That inside lane gets out front with Kopech in 2nd. Goodale slides back to 3rd and back to the inside, just in front of a new look this year for the 81 of Todd Owen.
Todd Owen works his magic up to 4th, but directly in front of him is Eric Goodale. Goodale, the star of the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour. He's come with double guns. He's competing in both. Here comes Goodale. Took a look at the inside of Kopech. Meanwhile, Owen is there and working through traffic rather nicely. In the upper lane is Paul Kashiba.
Kashiba trying to come to the front, at the front, or at least toward, in the battle for second. Dylan Kopech has it. Eric Goodale wants it. Owen is there in position number 4. Things get tight from 5th on back.
Max Zackham is also moving in with the pack of cars there. Count them back, 5 positions. Currently, Paul Kashiba is setting in the final transfer spot for the handicap. 1 spot out is Dylan Izzo with the number 76 car. This time, halfway down, halfway to go. Off the turn, back to the stripe they come. This time, Todd Owen's car loosens up just a bit. Bid is now for second.
And it's going to be Goodale to the inside of Kopech. Kopech hangs on to that spot for now. Dylan Kopech in the 16, Eric Goodale in the 58. Well behind Dan Avery. Looking at him go at the front of the field. Been competing in this division since year 1 back in the early 80s, on and off, and he's looking good right now at the point.
He certainly is, as the Avery machine, prepared by Michael O'Sullivan and his son. They have turned the wrenches and created some magic. It is 2 to go. Avery is the star of the show. Meanwhile, Dylan Izzo is all over the back bumper of Paul Kashiba's machine. Izzo must finish among the top 5 if he wants to be in that handicap. Zackham is there as well. Tyler Chapman is there. He's boxed in. 1 lap to go.
And Wesley Prucker to the mix as well. The new look for the 23. Final lap, 1 to go. Leaders already off of turn 2. That is Dan Avery, the most veteran of SK modified competitors. Eric Goodale, Dylan Kopech, 2nd and 3rd, heading for home.
Here is the checkered. Black is white is waving. Dan Avery will take down the win. Eric Goodale will finish in 2nd. Dylan Kopech, good run for 3rd. Todd Owen to finish in 4th. Final car in the handicap. Great run for the 57 of Paul Kashiba.
Just missing the top 5. Dylan Izzo in 6th. Max Zackham in 7th. Tyler Chapman in 8th. Wesley Prucker 9th. And Kurt Brainerd rounding out the top 10.
So round number 2 about to come on to the racetrack, and starting at the point, the Jean-Guy Poulin Racing, Heinz Racing, AJ Karting Machine. From North Haven, Connecticut, car 99 for Tyler Hines.
Outside pole sitter, car number 82, ended the year so strong in Napa Victory Lane from Wolcott, Connecticut. The New England Turf Eastport feeds car for Michael Christopher Jr.
Let's take a look at row number 2. It's the Wheelers Auto Service car, the John and Mania Rafano Machine. From North Haven, Connecticut, the pride of Italy, car number 88, Marcello Rafano.
4-starter, last year's champion, car number 85 from Shelton, Connecticut. The RaceChoice.com sponsored car for Andrew Moeller.
Position number 5 is car number 27, CNC Roofing, South Windsor, Connecticut's own, number 27 for John Sandberg.
6-starter, car number 25 from East Hampton, Connecticut, the Fowler's Auto Wrecking entry for Anthony Flannery.
Let's take a look at the 7th starter in the field, the Horsepower Hill Farms Machine. From Berlin, Connecticut, car number 22. Watch this car. It is hot in practice. Keith Rocco.
Car number 1 goes next from Berlin, Connecticut, the FafoThreads.com sponsored entry for Matt Vassar.
In the 9th starting spot, this kid is very racy and got the victories to prove it. Casella Waste Systems, number 3 from Worcester, Massachusetts, Troy Talman.
And rounding out the top 10 starters, car number 71 from Salem, Connecticut. Another one of the SK Light Modified veterans moving up and into this division this season as a rookie. Darling Auto Parts, the sponsor for Alexander Pearl.
So we're ready and set to go. USNE among the sponsors also on the Pearl machine. This kid has come up through the ranks. He's been very, very good and very personable with a bright future ahead of him. He is part of a great racing family. The Pearl family, long been associated with so much success in short track modified racing. Bill Long looks him over from the starter's stand. There's the green. Nice start, Tyler Hines and Michael Christopher Jr. Christopher comes off the turn
Around goes Hines. Face of the field, 360, keeps it rolling. Couple of cars have to take evasive action to the infield grass, including Troy Talman will stay green.
And it looks like that other car was Keith Rocco's car, the number 22, and yes, it was the Avery race car. Meanwhile, bid is for the 4th position. Currently, a strong battle shaping up there. And off the turn, the number 1 car of Matt Vassar has moved in, taken over the 4th spot. Look at the bid for position number 5. Marcello Rafano, Sandberg. Rafano, a little bit loose that time. And right there with him is Alexander.
And the Pearl car in the 71.
Yeah, and he is there. Here comes Marcello Rafano. Big, bold move to the inside.
4 down, 4 to go.
Right there with him. 71 car. Moving in to the site and looking very strong.
2 of the championship contenders from a year ago racing for the win here. Mike Christopher Jr. falling just short of the title. Andrew Moeller, last year's champion, in the 2nd spot. 1 and 2 up the back straightaway into the closing laps of this SK modified heat race.
Petty Cash Racing, Tick Mike, JJ, and the rest of the gang. A young, talented driver, the defending champion, Andrew Moeller.
Wow, car up and into the outside wall to 27. Pretty hard hit here on the front straightaway. Gets the car to the infield, will stay green. Talman is off the pace in turn number 3. He'll go to the infield. White flag for Christopher as he goes back to turn 1 in the 82.
Some surprises here as the leader heads down into turn number 3. Michael Christopher dominates the racing action for round number 1. Moeller, Anthony Flannery, the 1 of Matt Vassar, and Marcello Rafano takes that final transfer among the handicap. Alexander Pearl had a good run. Close, but no cigar.
Finishing in the 6th spot, then it's Tyler Hines in 7th, Keith Rocco 8th, John Sandberg, who got into the outside wall off of turn number 4 with a couple laps to go, finished 9th, and Troy Talman, who was in that tangle initially in turn number 2, finished the race on pit road in car number 3 in the 10th spot.
Now let's take a look at our 3rd SK Modified qualifier. Car number 33, Mr. Consistency, the Jervis Brothers Roofing Company machine. From Walcott, Connecticut, Michael Jervis Jr.
Car 24 goes next from Hamden, Massachusetts, the Valley Hike Farm sponsored car for Mikey Flynn.
Car number 11 is the Hummel's Hot Dog machine, the John Hummel, Eddie Flemke Jr. prepared car from Farmington, Connecticut, Corey DiMatteo.
4th starter, car number 7 from Branford, Connecticut, the Mr. Reuter Plumbing entry for John Pulio.
Then we go to car number 63, the Flamia Racing car from Waterbury, Connecticut, David Flamia Jr.
6th starter, car number 75 from right here in Stafford, Monaco Ford providing the sponsorship for David Aru.
In the 7th starting spot, it is car number 12, the Harcon Chrome machine from Windsor, Connecticut, Artie Caruso.
8th starter, car number 14 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Chapman Apartment Homes car for Stephen Chapman.
And then it's the Lou DeLizio auto body machine from Danbury, Connecticut for the very talented driver of car 28, Teddy Hodgson.
That's the lineup. We'll get the 1 to go signal here this time by 3rd and final qualifying event for the SK Modifieds.
On deck will be the street stocks. Then we'll quickly roll in to the open Tour Modifieds for their qualifying heats.
Lined up, ready to go, back straight away. Jarvis to bring the field around. Car 33, Flynn to his outside in the 24. Final event for the SK Modifieds in their qualifying. And we'll go one more time around.
Yes, they being told to be single file. Apparently there's a car that is out of order.
And that looks like they want to get the 27 maybe across the track and back to the pit area for Sandberg.
That's what it does appear to be.
Corey DiMatteo in this race, car number 11, rattled off 3 in a row early last season. And we're also hearing that officials may be looking for a potential fluid from under the 33 car. So stay tuned. We'll see if anything is found.
And this is the last of 3 qualifying rounds, and then we go into our street stock qualifiers with 3 qualifying events for those individuals. Still checking the racing surface itself, looking for what is the potential of a car that might be leaking, some types of fluid on the racetrack.
Yellow remains out. Mike Hellberg, Bill Long atop the starter stand, looking as well.
Bill Long previously was our Victory Lane coordinator before moving back to the starter stand. And it appears that car number 33, Michael Jervis, is the car that apparently had the possibility of a leak, and they're calling that car in. Going to take a quick look at it. And Bonzatufa is right there as that crew is checking out things.
As is Dave Barabalt. Dave, what do you see down there with the 33?
Well, they've already cut the engine on the 33, and they're looking at that right front. I'll try to swing my way around, guys, and see if I can get a better look along with the officials. They're both everybody's looking at the front of the car. I don't see anything leaking off this right front, but the officials are going to go over and talk to Michael Jarvis, and I'll try to get a word in with them and get back to you.
So they check things over, but it appears that the 33 is still sitting on pit road. And now one of the track officials are talking with the driver and looking at things still. And the starter stand doubles them up. Chris Cambato at race control. Part of the legendary 3rd generation of Scambatos that have long been associated with the Stafford Speedway.
And it looks like we're going to go green, potentially without the 33 that remains on the pit lane. Rest of the field doubled up in their rows of 2 in the 24.
Guys, very, very quick. It's a radiator hose on the 33 that's knocked them out of the heat.
Tough break for them, but they'll be back in the main event, not in the handicapped position. Let's see what's going to happen here. Off the turn, good start. And it looks like Mikey Flynn is trying to get the best of Corey DiMatteo and JP, Jonathan Pulio.
Pulio up alongside DiMatteo for the 2nd spot to complete lap number 1. Just a length behind the race leader, Mikey Flynn, in car number 24, who will lead the opening circuit. Pulio's up to 2nd. DiMatteo 3rd, and David Arute trying to challenge for that spot with Teddy Hodgson.
Teddy Hodgson started scratch. He's up to 5. Pulio is glued to the back bumper, takes a peek. The Mr. Rooter machine running on rails to the inside. JP going, gone. Bumps Mikey Flynn back to 2nd. David Arute getting a nudge from Teddy Hodgson. Arute looks to the inside, can't do it, but he's all over the back bumper of the Island Cove, Hummel's hot dog machine.
Falls in the line in 4th for David Arute, halfway this time by. 2-car breakaway. Jonathan Pulio at the point by a couple of lengths over Mikey Flynn in 2nd. Here's Arute stepping out of line to the inside on DiMatteo. for position number 3.
David Arute dives to the inside. The Monaco Ford machine looks racy to the bottom. Side by side to the top side. Corey DiMatteo bumps back to the 5th position. And he is being challenged as we speak by Stephen Chapman. 2 laps to go.
Here comes Pulio off of turn number 4, mile to run. 2 trips around the Stafford half mile for Jonathan Pulio. Mikey Flynn right there in second, not able to challenge as of yet. David Arute a distant third, Hodgson in fourth. Corey DiMatteo uncharacteristically going the other way, back to 5th in car number 11, white flag, 1 to go.
No question about it, Jonathan Pulio has a rocket. The Mr. Reuter machine has been dominant, and Mikey Flynn is just impressive in second. Final time through turn 3. Off the 4th turn, JP Jonathan Pulio will take down the win. Mikey Flynn will finish in second. David Arute is third. Teddy Hodgson from scratch up to 4th. And Corey DiMatteo, the final handicap transfer, in position number 5.
Stephen Chapman will finish in 6th, David Flamia in 7th, and Michael Jarvis, after the incident early on, finishing in position number 8. And in fact, it wasn't an incident, it was the radiator issue for the 33 that put that car on pit road before we even really got going in that final SK modified qualifying event.
Now we move to full fender competition. These are the street stocks, and round number 1 of 3 will be 5 laps in distance. The story will be 5 cars to transfer. Car number 67, Aaron Plemons out of Uncasville, Connecticut. The Faith Construction machine will start at the point.
And his outside, car number 13 from right here in Stafford Springs, Charlie's Towing and TTM Technologies to bring us Matt Martell.
Let's take a look at row number 2, car number 15, the Dustbusters duct cleaning car from Ware, Massachusetts, Sean Petlock.
And the 49 to his outside from Somers, Connecticut, the Barn Package Store to bring us Jason Raymond.
This guy had a great 2024 season. The Safeco Foam TMS dryer vent cleaning car from Granby, Massachusetts, Jeff Aslin.
6-starter, car 23 from Wallingford, Connecticut, the CKG welding and fab car for Alex Spinato.
Here's a very talented young lady in the Michello Motorsports machine from Somers, Connecticut, car 99, Isabella Manchella.
And 8-starter, car number 32 from Ellington, Connecticut, the Connecticut Axle and Spindle Service car for Colton Gambacorda.
And moving into the final scratch position will be the number 66 car that is the final car to come out and join us for this qualifying round. That, of course, is one of the rent-a-race car machines. We'll be checking on the driver of that.
Lined up, ready to go. We'll go green next time by for heat race number 1 for the street stocks. Aaron Plemons in car number 67 will bring the fields to the green flag. Sean Petlock will start alongside. Jason Raymond will go to the inside of row 2.
Okay, we should be ready. And here we go. Street stock, 5 laps. Coming down to the line. Aaron Plemons looks to the front of the class. Got a good run for it out in front, but already moving in is Jason Raymond, working his magic up to second, Kyle. And no surprises here, Jeff Aslin already on the prowl in position number 3 with car number 7.
Aslin to the inside, Raymond to the outside lane, and he'll tuck back in the line behind Jeff. Car number 7, who takes that runner-up position away. Move Raymond back to 3rd, Sean Petlock 4th, Isabella Minchella rounding out the top 5 cars spun off of turn number 2. And that's the 66 for Gary Hijack, who is behind the wheel of that rent-a-race car here this afternoon.
Caution flag comes out. We've got a spin, minor spin, bringing out that. And we believe it's one of the rent-a-race car machines that has spun. And that is Gary Hijack. taking over the number 66 car for today's rental.
And Hijack goes around off of turn number 2. That rent-a-race car program, I believe, if it's not sold out yet for the season, it is close. They've been around a long time here at the Stafford Motor Speedway,
Sure
dating
have.
back to the 1990s, I believe, with Gary Spinato and his team.
A lot of great opportunities to get the job done, apparently. Car does not get fired up on its own, and trying to get it perhaps back into gear, and might need the assistance of the wrecker or one of the push trucks. After this, we go to the Mighty Modifieds qualifying heats for the NAPA Auto Parts greatest race in the history of spring. And believe you me, you don't want to leave your seats now, because there is going to be 4 qualifying rounds, 10 laps, 6 cars, the number of cars to transfer. Why is that? The answer is obvious. 39 cars showed up in pursuit of one of the big paydays of 2025, an historic event. When you say you've won a Spring Sizzler, that adds tremendous credibility to the resume. Ronnie Silk talked about that earlier with you, Kyle, in the pit area.
He's winner of the last 2 Napa Spring Sizzlers here at the Speedway, and looking for 3 in a row here later this afternoon. As we are set to go back under the green flag, Aaron Plemons will bring the field to the stripe with Jeff Aslan to his right elbow. And then some black and green machines in row 2, Jason Raymond and Sean Petlock inside and out. Good run early for Isabella Minchella in 5th.
So we are back up to green. Jeff Aslan trying to get a nice run to the outside of Aaron Plemons. Aslan does the big crossover. And then it just doesn't stick with 2 laps to go. And all of a sudden, Jason Raymond would like to show his potential as a contender this year. He moves into 2nd.
Jeff Aslan going the wrong way in car number 7, was in that 2nd position, kicked back to 4th by the time they get to the end of the back straightaway. Isabella Minchella moving up and in to the front 4. White flag, 1 lap to go for Aaron Plemons, the dominant car of this qualifying event. Colton Gambacorta stepping out of line further back in car number 32, picks up a spot on Jeff Aslan to move into 5th as the race leaders in turn number 4 for the final time.
That is a very crucial place that he needed to be, and he does just that. Taking down the win, Aaron Plemons. 2nd, the 49 of Jason Raymond. 3rd, Sean Petlock. 4th, great run for Isabella Minchella. And what a great run for Colton Gambacorta to take the final handicap spot. Who was behind them 6 through 9?
Jeff Aslan really slid back in the final few laps of that race, finishing in 6th. Matt Martell 7th, Alex Spinato 8th, and Gary Hijack rounding out the running order after that spin off of turn number 2 to bring out the only caution flag of that heat race.
Round number 2 in the Street Stock Division sees car number 69, the Royce Auto Service car from Belchertown, Mass, to start at the point for Bill Cody.
And his outside, car number 71 from Stamford, Connecticut, Rico's Pizza, the entry for Marvin Minkler.
Keep your eyes on the SK Property Maintenance IMC manufacturing car. From Southampton, Massachusetts, car number 55, Brandon Warren.
4th starter, car number 80 from East Hartford, Connecticut, the Jet Motorsports car for Tyler Trott.
5th starter will be the Garrett Carpentry, number 51, from Enfield, Connecticut, Garrett Pease.
6th starter, car number 58 from Madison, Connecticut, the Tea Kettle Restaurant and Old Saybrook sponsored car for David Chasko.
Evans Carpentry Services brings us car number 12, PJ Evans from Uncasville, Connecticut.
And 8th starter, car number 27 from Pennsylvania, the Terp Warehousing sponsored entry for Andreas Bogie.
So there you have it. 2 qualifying rounds are in the books, lineup-wise and finish-wise for round number 1. Round number 2 looking to go into the record books, and then our third qualifying round, and then it will be on to the open modified qualifying heats, and we are in for a treat with 4 of those scheduled to go green. And following the conclusion of that, limited late model heats, late models, the official show opening, and its feature events from there on.
1 to go for this, the second street stock qualifying event. We'll go green next time by. Bill Cody, Marvin Minkler, both on the front row, both veterans of this division, along with Brandon Warren now in that new look for this season, the red number 55 to the inside of row number 2.
And never count out Tyler Trott. He is always a factor. So Garrett Pease has shown some muscle. So this is a stacked deck. There is no question. You're looking at it on the big screen here. If you're watching at home on FloRacing, again, we are in the midst of qualifying, modified tour type, qualifying 39 cars strong. On deck behind the curtain right now, green flag is out, getting the jump, Bill Cody. But moving in rather quickly is Brandon Warren, trying to get down underneath Marvin Minkler. Minkler and Warren are side by side down into turn number 3. Minkler by inches. Brandon Warren back to contend. Who's going to have it at the line?
That's the battle for second, and it's Minkler in the 71 over Warren in third. Keeping an eye on Garrett Pease further back in the 51. That hood beginning to peel up just a bit. Right front corner of that car, so we'll keep an eye out on him. One of the final cars in line, just in front of Bogey up the back straightaway, is the top 3. Now top 4 break away at the front. Cody, Minkler, Warren, and Tyler Trott, who came so close to winning the championship a year ago. Remember the flat tire in the closing laps of the final feature of the season put him out of title contention. Travis Downey got the championship. We'll see him in our next heat race.
Keep your eyes on Brandon Warren. He tries to make the move to the inside. Marvin Minkler guards the outside lane. Back to the stripe they come. Side-by-side bid. Give Brandon Warren the opportunity to take over second. Meanwhile, Tyler Trott now sees daylight. Trott wants to move into the comfort zone. He will take over third. Is Brandon Warren done? Quickest lap of the race was by him just 1 lap ago.
Ooh, Tyler Trott was nearly done off of turn number 4. That car got way sideways, battling for third. Battle for the lead off of turn 2. Here comes Warren to the inside of race leader Bill Cody in turn 3 for the final time.
Here they come off turn number 4. Bill Cody has led them all, but this is the most important one. Bill Cody will take down the win. Great run for Brandon Warren with car 55 in second. Tyler Trott to finish in third. Marvin Minkler for fourth. P.J. Evans to round out the top 5.
David Chasko will finish in 6th. Garrett Pease in 7th. And Andreas Bogey rounding out the 8-car field.
Well, up is the final qualifying round for the street stock division. Car number 42 will be starting up front. That, of course, is our defending champion. He'll be behind the wheel of the PJ Ladola and Sons electrical contractors car. From Barkhamsted, Connecticut, car 42, Travis Downey.
Starting second, it's the 88 from Manchester, Connecticut, the Ricky Breen painting entry for Kyle Johnson.
Moving now, second row on the inside, position number 3. The Renner Race Cars machine from Goshen, Connecticut, former feature winner here at Stafford, car 94, Chris Danielchuk.
Fourth starter, car number 84 from Ellington, Connecticut, the American sign J&J trucking car for Burt Willett.
In the 5th starting spot, it'll be car number 33, the East Rock Auto Repair car from Clinton, Connecticut, Mike Caprio.
Sixth starter, car number 81 from Griswold, Connecticut, the Northeast Truck and Off-Road car for Brent Gleason.
Then in the 7th starting spot, the Jet Motorsports car from North Providence, Rhode Island, car number 95, Jeff Van Pelt.
And rounding out the field, car number 22, another one of those rent-a-race cars, and we'll get the driver info here in just a moment, as this is our third and final street stock qualifying event. Don't forget, pick up those trading cards down on the midway at the novelty stand just off of turn number 4. For every pack of cards that you buy, you get a ticket toward a raffle that includes some really cool things from USNE, a backpack full of, what do they call that, swag?
Yes, that's exactly what they call that.
Instead of stuff we all get, it's going to be stuff that you get, because it's a bunch of T-shirts, and I think there's a trading card in there, a die-cast car.
And some surprises.
And
Don't
some
forget
surprises.
that. Yep.
Look like some snacks as well. So there are 2 of those backpacks for every pack of trading cards that are sold. You get a ticket, and that ticket is entered into that raffle that will be drawn later today from USNE, as the field will come around and get the one-to-go signal, our final qualifying event for the Street Stocks.
Well, there's the cross flag from the starter's stand. Mike Helberg at the helm. Bill Long behind him as car 42. Travis Downey, defending champion. Had a great season last year, but it wasn't an easy one because it came right down to the final race of the year to determine who was the overall best and had the crowning glory of being a champion here at Stafford. And that's an amazing accomplishment all by itself.
42 car will lead the field off of turn 4 to the green flag this time by. Another 5 laps on tap with Kyle Johnson to the outside of the front row. Pace car is on pit road looking for the green flag, and there it is. We're underway. Travis Downey to bring the field into turn number 1. Johnson to his outside as they are stacked up 2 by 2 to turn 2.
There's no question Travis Downey has his own line here at the racetrack, and that line paid off for him. He tucks it down low into turn number 3 and manages to hold on. There's a side-by-side battle for the 3rd position. Off the turn, back to the stripe they come. Kyle Johnson currently setting in 2nd. Mike Caprio is the no surprises here, and there is some good racing there. Bertolette is there with that number 84 car running racy to the inside. Bert is a very colorful competitor in this division. And Kyle, there's a 3-car battle for that 3rd spot.
Here they come, back off of turn number 4 to complete another lap, and we'll probably put a lap on Kenneth Kurtuler the next couple of times. He is in the number 26 car, so before this race is all said and done, he is probably going to go a lap down, maybe before this lap is complete. Travis Downey closing in off of turn number 4, coming to just a couple laps to go for car 42.
There's no question Travis Downey is the quickest car on the racetrack. He just proved that, quicking off the quickest lap time. Meanwhile, Kyle Johnson running in 2nd. It's short-lived. Here comes Michael Caprio. Caprio makes the move to the inside. Bertolette is there. 3 cars contending for the same airspace. It is position number 2. White flag is out. 1 lap to go.
For race leader Travis Downey, Caprio up to the 2nd spot. Bert Willett is in 3rd in car number 84. Johnson back to 4th. And Brent Gleason having a good run in position number 5 as they make their way up the back straightaway. For the final time, it'll be the checkered for our defending champion, Travis Downey. Ended last year up front, begins this year at the front of the field, and wins qualifying race number 3 for the Street Stocks over Mike Caprio, who was closing in from the 2nd spot. Bert Willett 3rd, Kyle Johnson 4th, and Brent Gleason the top 5.
So our qualifying is now history for the Street Stock division. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for qualifying. You've witnessed the group qualifying that determined where they will start in these 4 qualifying events. Now there'll be 10 laps in distance, 6 cars to be among the qualified position. And the first of the qualifying rounds is going to see one of Stafford's best, starting at the point, and that will be the number 50 car, the Empower Financial Advisory, Adam Scavora prepared car from Lebanon, Connecticut, car 50, Ronnie Williams.
And to the outside of the front row, the 00 from Wolcott, Connecticut, the James R. Page Plumbing and Heating car for Michael Christopher Jr.
Let's take a look at row number 2. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust will bring us the Northampton, Pennsylvania superstar of car number 60, Big Money Matt Hirschman.
Fourth starter, car number 76 from Brewster, Massachusetts, the 137 gas incorporated car for Brett Meservey.
Let's take a look at the fifth starter, the Nocella Paving Racework chassis car from Berlin, Mass. It is car 92, Anthony Nocella.
Sixth starter, car 31 from Canton, Connecticut, the Mid-State Site Development entry for Noah Corner.
Then we go to car number 44, the S&S Asphalt Paving Hanshaw machine. The driver is Chase Dowling from Woodbury, Connecticut.
Eighth starter, car 13 from Preston, Connecticut, the USNE Power entry for Max Zackham.
Ninth starter, the Monaco Ford Chassis Pro DP Motorsports car from Tallinn, Connecticut, car 75, David Arup.
10th starter is car number, make that 11th starter, car number 10 from Seymour, Connecticut, the Yukon Athletics car for Nick Anglaise. Car 10 will start 10. It's a 10-car field, and they'll go green next time by 10 laps.
They sure will. And of course, the story, 6 to make the transfer and make the move up. Ronnie Williams, Michael Christopher. Michael Christopher missed the first Monaco Tri-Track event with Jimmy Page's race car. They were waiting for the engine. Well, the wait was worth it. It's a very quick race car, and starting to the outside of the front row with Ronnie Williams, we're going to see a sample of just that. Ladies and gentlemen, qualifying for the greatest race in the history of spring is about to go green. Round number 1. We've got a little bit of a stutter step already in the start.
By Mike Christopher Jr. in the outside lane. Inside will advance. Ronnie Williams to the point. Hirschman up to second. Nocella in third. Christopher looks like will settle in the line in the 4th spot just in front of the 44. Close call there by Chase Dowling as they come around to complete lap 1.
They work their magic. Single file. Stepping out of line is the 31. Noah Corner slides down underneath Dowling. He'll pick up the 5th spot. 5 is the magic number. Down the back straightaway. Dowling shifts back to position number 6. Off the turn, nose to tail. Ronnie Williams leads Matt Hirschman back in turn 1.
Just a car length between the top 2. One more back to 3rd place running Anthony Nocella. Mike Christopher Jr.'s gathered it back up for 4th. Battle for the lead in turn 3. Here's Hirschman stepping out of line.
There's no question about it. Hirschman dives to the bottom. Red car on the inside. It is the Bar Harbor banking machine. About to make a deposit in the bank. Matt Hirschman moves to the front of the field.
And pulls away by 3 car lengths. 1 car out of shape. It's the 13. Max Zackham further back. He saves the car. Gathers it up as the top 5 begin to draw away from him. Zackham out of shape again off turn 4. Car goes around and everybody, I think, is going to miss him. Caution is out.
Caution flag comes out. Max Zackham.
Not sure if he had a tire down.
No,
because
something was crazy on that.
He was out of shape in turn 2 and saved it. And then again off turn 4, the car snapped around on him.
But it appears that all tires are up. So again, kind of a strange situation. You're looking at Max Zackham's car number 13. And of course, that is the prestigious motorsports car, USNE Power Company, the big sponsor for many of these cars in the field. Initially on the start of this qualifying heat, Ronnie Williams and Michael Christopher in the front row. Christopher got shuffled back a bit as Matt Hirschman was marching forward, became the 2nd leader of the event. Checking the front straightaway, Monaco Safety Services crew. 2 locations, one in Glastonbury, the other in Niantic, Connecticut. As car number 60, Matt Hirschman, Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, his sponsor of the day. Ronnie Williams setting back in 2nd. Anthony Nocella, remember, the great open show we had here at Stafford with Anthony Nocella and Matt Hirschman coming together in the closing laps of the event. Michael Christopher now settling back into 4th. Chase Dowling was up to 4th, drops back 1 to the 5th spot. And then Noah Corner, Brett Meservey, David Arup, Nick Anglaise, the Yukon sponsored car. And Max Zackham picks up at the rear of the field.
And we'll go green next time by, or make that this time by. Field has been given the one to go signal.
Now let's see if we can figure this out, Kyle. We're going to take a look at the replay. Or are we going to go green? No, the car just snapped around on him, and then he tried to keep going and drive through it. Noah Corner did the best job of avoiding that one. Right now, let's go back to turn 4. Place your bets. Here we go.
Dead even as they go to turn 1 at the front. Hirschman and Williams inside and out, just in front of Nocella and Christopher. As again, Christopher doesn't come up to speed on the restart, settles in the line in 4th, just behind Nocella, behind race leader Matt Hirschman.
Noah Corner's loose up in the top side of the racetrack with car number 31. And Noah goes around. Will he be able to get it fired up in the Whelen Engineering car? He does not. So, Noah's going to perhaps need the assistance of a push. He had the car saved. It was up in the loose stuff on the top side of the racetrack, gathered it back, and then just off the turn, it snapped back around. Very talented young kid that hasn't had a lot of luck at all last season, was hoping to change all of that, and maybe it will happen today. So, leader is Matt Hirschman. And timing and scoring is showing unofficially. Anthony Nocella moved into 2nd. Ronnie Williams in 3rd. Michael Christopher in 4th. Chase Dowling up to 5, and 6 is the number you want to be. And Brett Meservey has the 6th spot. Max Zackham is just outside of that in 7th, with David Arute in 8th, and Glace is 9th, and Noah Corner rounds out the top 10.
We'll go green here in about a lap and a half from now. Cleanup continues over in turn 4. You mentioned Noah Corner, the driver involved in the incident. Off of turn 4, a solo spin for Noah. Won the TC13 late last season. Still looking for that first point-paying victory here in the SK Modifieds.
So it appears that the field's being told to cross over. Matt Hirschman. Now, Nocella Paving to the outside. Ronnie Williams, Empower Financial Car. Michael Christopher, Chase Dowling. Brett Meservey, Max Zackham, David Arute, Nick Anglace, Noah Corner. 4 of 10. 6 laps remaining. So far, 2 cautions, minor spins. Spotters on the hands on their button. Green and racing off turn 4.
Nocella gets a great jump in the outside lane, but here comes Hirschman right back to the bottom as they hit turn number 2. Stacked up double wide, Williams and Christopher in row number 2. Dowling in 5th in car 44. As they try to get things sorted out at the front, Hirschman all by himself at the point.
Meanwhile, bid is for the 4th position. Dowling muscles his way on the inside. Car 44. Williams is on the outside. Trouble now. David Arute slides down to the infield. He got touched. And it still remains. We are under green, but there is the yellow. David Arute got tagged off turn number 2 on the backstretch, and that changed things a bit. Can't get it fired back up. Monaco Safety Services crew and our records go to assist David Arute.
So a solo car incident. Again, I think this is what, the third one in this qualifier for the Open Modifieds as we set the starting field for the 53rd Napa Spring Sizzler later today. Again, a big thanks to all the race fans. It's a lot of racing in one day. Condensing yesterday, what was a really cold and wet day here at the racetrack. Moving all of that action that was scheduled for yesterday to today. Wanting to incorporate all of our regular weekly divisions into this Spring Sizzler program, and man, the pits are full, but it has been a lot of on-track activity, a lot of qualifying. It's the first event of the year, so a lot of these teams shaking the rust off. And again, a big thanks to everybody for coming out. It's going to be worth it when we get the feature time here in just a little bit.
And of course, if you're watching on Flow, we appreciate you joining us as well. And we continue to run the field in single file formation. And it looks like this time they'll be told to cross over and double up. Hirschman and Nacella teamed up in the front row. Michael Christopher, Chase Dowling, Ronnie Williams, Max Zackham. Brett Meservey, and it appears that the lights are off on the pace car. You're looking at the field as it heads off turn number 2 underneath the Napa Auto Care billboard. Down the back straightaway.
Gonna go green this time by. Hirschman to bring the field off of turn number 4.
Here we go. Green flag is out. Nacella gets a nice bite in the outside lane. Meanwhile, Hirschman guards it. Second row is just as impressive as row number 1. Christopher, Dowling. Now, off the turn. Dowling moves up to the 3rd spot, but Michael Christopher settles back into 4th. Trouble now.
Zackham.
Max Zackham's car is evil in this qualifying round. And already moving into the top 5, Ronnie Williams trying to hold off Noah Corner, who is in a very valuable spot. Meanwhile, Christopher giving a power assist to Chase Dowling. Bim, bam, and boom. And Michael Christopher slides under. Going, gone.
White flag, 1 lap to go. Final trip around for Matt Hirschman, who leads over Anthony Nocella. Christopher is up to 3rd car. A couple cars now go around, including Noah Corner over in turn number 3. Is that Williams also? And a car on the slow on the backstretch in Anglaise. Yellow is out.
Wow, kind of a weird situation took place. 4 cars were involved in 2 different locations. And Glaze spun after the fact on the backstretch. And there's the front wheel peeled back on the Yukon number 10 car.
That's Nick Anglaise, who has been able to pull away.
He is, I don't think he can go any further than where he's at and might need a wrecker. The 76 car was also involved, a Brett Meservey. And the 31, we've just received information, has received a consultation. You're looking at Nick Anglaise's Yukon, Connecticut car with the flat right front peeled back. And there is Noah Corner in the Whelen Engineering car.
Ronnie Williams had the car turned around over in turn number 2. Car number 50 is able to pull away. It doesn't look like there's much, if any, damage as he rolls by the start-finish line toward the tail end of the field, along with Brett Meservey, who is slow and a right rear down on the 76 when it comes by us.
Not a good way to start. Had a very fast car in practice today. The 10 car Van Glace being hooked up. Let's take a look at this. It was kind of puzzling. Noah Corner is on the inside of Williams. They touch. Williams goes around. Corner tries to stop to prevent more damage done. He makes contact with Meserve. Here's a look at it again. Corner to the inside, touches Williams. Williams goes around. Then Brett Meserve became a victim of circumstances, cuts down a tire, and Glace was after the fact down the back straightaway, about underneath the Budweiser sign, that he literally came to a screeching halt.
And Glace going off on the hook. Car number 10, the Yukon sponsored car for this season.
And he was in a transfer position, unfortunately. And now the 76 also with a flat right rear tire. And they're still working on the racetrack in turn number 1. But it looks like this time we might be able to cross the field over. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, as they say in the great state of Maine, Bahaba, is the sponsor of Matt Hirschman's car for this event. Anthony Nacella, the Nacella paving car. Anthony loves Stafford Speedway, feels very confident, says, I know how to get the job done here.
Has been close several times.
Yes, he has, and long overdue. Michael Christopher waited for an engine, got it. Same story with the Tineo race car, the Hanshaw machine, S&S Paving. Kevin Starshuck has been involved with Chase Dowling for his entire racing career. This is a one-lap shootout, by the way. Here we go.
Matt Hirschman to lead that one lap into turn 1. Nocella nearly shoved out of the way going into the corner. That opens the door for Christopher on the bottom to challenge for the second spot. Half a lap away from the checkered flag.
Here comes the bid for third. Little contact is made there, and the checkered flag is out. Matt Hirschman will take down a convincing victory. Michael Christopher.
Oh, and David Arute goes around in turn 1 following the checkered flag.
And then Anthony Nacella will finish in the third spot. Chase Dowling will finish in fourth. Max Zackham, roller coaster ride, will finish in the 5th spot. Ronnie Williams never gave up to finish in 6th, but there will be 4 cars that will not make it in the preferred number to qualify.
Including David Arute, Noah Corner, Brett Meserve, and Nick Inglace, all involved in incidents during that qualifier and all having to rely on other avenues into the main event.
You know what I learned from that qualifier?
What'd you learn, Ben?
I learned that everybody's giving it their all.
That's right.
Nobody is sandbagging here. So if you're watching on Flow, you need to get yourself here. And if you're with us in the grandstand, you were in for an unbelievable afternoon and night of racing. Car number 51, Connecticut, will be starting at the point, the Coca-Cola of Connecticut car. From Plymouth, Connecticut, Joey Cipriano.
That's going to be car number 20 from Canton, Connecticut, the USNE Power car for Dana DiMatteo.
Let's take a look at row number 2, car number 79. It's the Christopher's Towing Company car. From Chelmsford, Massachusetts, former Wheel and Modified Tour champion for John McKennedy.
Car number 3 scheduled to go next from Catawba, North Carolina, the AAA consultant car for Matt Galco.
Now moving to the 5th starting spot, car number 58. That's the Goodies Motorsports GAF roofing car from Riverhead, New York, Eric Goodale.
The 5CT goes next from Lisbon, Connecticut, Dolly's Collision and Custom car for Chris Pastriak.
Now let's take a look at the 7th starter. That will be the USNE Power Northeast Drilling Company car from Owego, New York, Tyler Ripkema.
8th starter, car number 14 from Hamburg, New York, the Advantage Trucks car for Jake Lutz.
Now we'll take a look at the 9th starter, car number 11. That's the Hummel's Hot Dog. Number 11 from Farmington, Connecticut, Corey DiMatteo.
And rounding out the field, car 17 from Amherst, New York, Tobuck, the entry for Danny Knoll.
So, second qualifying event, 10 laps. And again, 6 is the magic number. We've already witnessed the top 6 from round 1. as Williams was the last car to make it in.
Go green next time by. Fields getting the 1 to go signal. Joey Cipriano and Dana DiMatteo to make up the front row starters here. John McKennedy, Matt Galco in row 2. Keep an eye on Eric Goodale to the inside of that third row in car number 58. Going to go under the green flag this time by. Another 10 laps. 6 to qualify into the 53rd Napa Spring Sizzler later today. Field in turn 4, looking for green. There it is from the starter stand. Joey Cipriano to bring the field into turn 1.
Cipriano guards the inside lane. Who will follow him through? It'll be John McKennedy. McKennedy on the inside lane. Dana DiMatteo digging in hard in the outside. Moving into second, it is John McKennedy. Meanwhile, DiMatteo up to the third spot. Matty Galco from Joe Gibbs Racing down south in the fourth position. Look at John McKennedy. He zips down underneath Joey's zip drive, and McKennedy becomes a brand new leader off turn 4.
As a rocket ship goes to the front of the field, sets the fastest lap in the process. No surprise there for McKennedy over Cipriano, DiMatteo, then Galco and Goodale battling for 4th and 5th. Pastriak in 6th, coming around to complete another circuit. This is lap 3 of 10.
That is the spot that Pastriak needs to stay in, but Jake Lutz is running in his tire tracks with car number 14. Down the back straightaway, leader still remains John McKennedy. Joey Cipriano right there. Cipriano trying, but can't do it. Dana DiMatteo setting in that third position. Meanwhile, it appears that Goodale is trying to get around the number 3 car of Matty Galco.
Been working that 3 car over the last couple of trips around the Speedway, unable to make the pass. Settles in for 5th right now for Eric Goodale. Car length behind Galco. They stack up behind them. The 32 trying to come to the front for Tyler Ripkema. The battle for the lead. 3 wide around Pastriak, just out of the top 5. That was a close moment.
It sure was, and Pastriak not only lost the 6th position, but he is no longer in a qualified spot. Not a good thing happening there. Goodale moves into 5th. Jake Lutz sets in the 6th and final transfer spot. Tyler Ripkema not there yet. Chris Pastriak and Danny Knoll.
Battle for the lead, tightening up just a bit, heading into the second half of this qualifying event. McKennedy and Cipriano, 1 and 2, and 2 car lengths between them. Another 2 back to DiMatteo in 3rd. Galco in 4th, and the pressure he was feeling a few laps ago has backed off just a bit, and Eric Goodale, who rounds out the top 5 with 2 laps to go.
The clock is ticking. 2 circuits, 1 mile left in this one. Top 5 are grouped single file, then there's a big gap, and then setting in the 6th spot is Jake Lutz. Final time down into turn 3 before the white flag comes out. 1 lap to go.
Sliding up the racetrack was Dana DiMatteo. Door open for a moment for Galco for 3rd as we watch the battle for the lead. Joey Cipriano has reeled in John McKennedy. Now pulls away up the back stretch for the final time.
Here they come. Final circuit off turn 4. Checkered flag is out. John McKennedy will take down the win. Joey Cipriano to finish in 2nd. Dana DiMatteo will finish in 3rd. Matty Galco for a convincing 4th. Eric Goodale for 5. And Jake Lutz, the final transfer spot. 3 cars will not make it through this qualifier.
Tyler Ripkema, Chris Pastriak, and Danny Knoll, the 3 drivers outside of the all-important top 6 in qualifying race number 2.
Let's go to round number 3 and take a look at these competitors. Car number 179 is the Avenue Auto John Jensen car from Northampton, Pennsylvania. Star of the Wheeler Modified Tour, it is Austin Beers.
Second starter, the 06 from Westminster, Massachusetts, the Quality Fleet Services car for Sam Ramo.
Gentleman who was the quickest among time today, the Lynn's Propane Trucks car. From Dayton, Massachusetts, car number 15, Jake Johnson.
Fourth starter, car number 24 from Hamden, Massachusetts, the Place Motors car for Mikey Flynn.
Gunsmoke Stables brings us the Mike Holmes machine. Car number 8, prepared by Cam McDermott from Bellingham, Mass, Woody Pitcat.
Sixth starter, car number 77, the Northport, New York native, William Dean Platinum sponsored car. The 77 is William Lambros.
Let's take a look at the 8th starter in the field, the Allied Sanitations, number 47 from Walcott, Connecticut, Joey Muchacharo.
8th starter, car number 28 from Woodstock, Connecticut, the Cape Towing and Salvage CNC Pools car for Buddy Charette.
Then we go to car number 55. That's the Glastonbury Auto Cleaning Services car. From Ontario, New York, car 55 for Trevor Catalano.
And after a very eventful last couple of hours, the 25 is out on the racetrack. From Harvard, Massachusetts, the Ceravolo's Auto, Molly's Auto Repair car for Matt Swanson.
Remember now, this Swanson race car, it does not have any laps on it here today. They went back to the garage to pick up this car and bring it out. This is the first time it has been on the racetrack here today. Matt Swanson, a very qualified and very talented young driver. His dad had a lot of success in full body competition in the old Busch North Series. So the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
All right, we're going to go green this time by. Lined up, ready to go. Austin Beers to bring the field off of turn 4. San Remo to his outside. One car, second car in line on the outside. Didn't come up the speed. That was Flynn. As everybody else goes to turn 1, and a big move for the 06. Ramo goes way up the racetrack. Couple cars come together further back. One car spins up the back straightaway. Caution is out. That's Buddy Charette.
Buddy Charette goes around and apparently cannot get it fired back up. The caution flag comes out. Buddy Charette out of Woodstock, Connecticut.
Yeah, they held the yellow there for a little bit, hoping the 28 car would fire up, and it eventually does, but not before the caution came out.
And of course, Buddy Charette in the Cape Towing and Salvage CNC Pools car picks up rather quickly at the rear of the field. Austin Beers in one circuit was the quickest car at the front of the field. Jake Johnson held on to that number 1 spot for the group qualifying to determine the qualifying heats. And this really works to the advantage of Sammy Ramo. Timing and Scoring are looking at the situation as we speak. These cars, of course, are electronically scored. Judy Clinty and Russ Smith, the masterminds, 2 of the best in the business.
Longtime masterminds at that.
Ed Bennett assisting operations in the pit area for the open modified cars. And the advisory committee from the Monaco Tri-Track Series. Okay, get ready. Austin Beers, Jake Johnson. 2 young lions roaring down the front of the front straightaway. Johnson is good. Look at Sammy Ramos. He got a second wind.
Yeah, Ramo went way wide on the initial start of this race. Lost a couple of spots. Back to the bottom of the racetrack goes the 06. And heck, might take the lead from Austin Beers when they get to turn number 1. Ramo to the inside and a power move.
Ramos. Once you fire this kid up, he looks racy, and here comes Jake Johnson. Johnson says, if Ramo can do it, I can too. And he does.
Oh, trouble off turn 4. Car barely missing the outside wall. Looked like he was heading that way, and he was for Mikey Flynn.
Tough break for Mikey Flynn, real outstanding competitor. Been competing here for many a season with a lot of success. The Bellahagee Farms Place Motors car. Doesn't look like it's got any severe damage. So we're going to take a look at the front straightaway. And Sammy Ramo, along with Jake Johnson, are anticipated to be in the front row. Austin Beers, Woody Pitcat, William Lambros, the 77 car, Joey Muchacharo, they call him the Mooch. Matt Swanson's only had a very short time to get used to this, but I think it's working, Kyle.
So far, so good for Swanson. Trying to get some laps under his belt, and he knows he has, 7 to go in this qualifying event, just outside of a qualified spot. Car number 25, fourth car in line on the bottom as they are re-racked and ready to go back under the green flag.
Here we go, coming off turn number 4, beneath the NAPA billboard. How appropriate. NAPA Sizzler Sunday, qualifying, set to go green, round number 3. Sammy Ramo digging in hard on the bottom. Meanwhile, Austin Beers trying to keep a piece of that real estate for second with his name on it. But the Lynch Trucking propane machine up to second. Here comes the Woodman, Woody Pitcat. White number 8 car, halfway down, halfway to go.
No surprise, Woody Pitcat making the back or making the outside lane work off of turn 2 and up the back straightaway. Does so again here on the front stretch. He is up to third and wanting more, but first having to clear the 179 of Austin Beers, who is racing to his inside. And look at Swanson just into the top 5, wanting a little bit more to the inside of Woody Pitcat for fourth. Pitcat out of shape, has to back out of it, will give up 2 spots in the process.
Don't say I didn't tell you. Matty Swanson is coming. Gary Casella's car, always a threat wherever this car shows up. Setting in the 4th position, reeling in on the number 179. Austin Beers is loose, coming off the turn from the parking lot in a scratch position. Matt Swanson moves in, takes over third. Here comes Woody Pitcat. 7 of 10 are complete.
Off of turn 4 they come, down to it. 2 laps to go for the race leader, Sam Ramo, unable to break away from Jake Johnson, keeping him within striking distance. Johnson in second, Swanson, the driver on the move right now, from the back to third. Closing in on the top 2, may run out of time before this one is all said and done. Off to the corner, white flag, 1 lap to go for Sam Ramo.
Less than a half a mile, it's all going to be history. Sammy Ramo back in form here at Stafford. He will look like the big contender in round number 3. 2 turns left off turn number 4. Sammy Ramo is going to lead him back to the stripe. He will take down the win. Jake Johnson in for second. Great run for Matty Swanson for third, Woody Pitcat for fourth, and Austin Beers to round out 5. Trevor Catalano takes the final transfer spot out of round number 3.
Then it was Will Lambros in 7th, Joey Muchacharo 8th, Buddy Charette 9th, and Mikey Flynn will round out the 10 starters of this race. And unfortunately, those drivers will have to find another way in, including the last chance qualifier, potentially to make it into the Napa Spring Sizzler later today.
Here is our final qualifying heat race, and starting at the point, it will be the Wheelers Auto Service car. That, of course, the John and Mania Rafano machine, and that is the Doug Dunleavy truck and trailer repair car. Car 48, Marcello Rafano.
And his outside on the front row will be car number 1 from Newtown, Connecticut, the Newtown Pools car for Stephen Kopchik.
Here's a man looking to make it 3 here in Sizzler competition for Victory Lane. The Blue Mountain Machine, Future Homes, Hade Yonan Racing Car. From Norwalk, Connecticut, car number 16, Ronnie Silk.
4th starter, car number 4 from Stonington, Connecticut, the Matt Latch Motorsports car for Jacob Perry.
Then we go to the 5th starting spot, it will be the USNE Power Machine. From Islip, New York, car number 66, Timmy Salamito.
Six-starter car number 10A from Berlin, Connecticut, the Avery Construction Corp sponsored car for Keith Rocco.
West Wind Tree Farm brings us car number 8, New York. From Griswold, Connecticut, the West Gilbert car for Tyler Berry.
Car number 19 will go next from Dunstable, Massachusetts, the Battle Weber Racing entry for Jeffrey Battle.
Starting scratch, the Bar Harbor Bank and Trust Machine. The Roby Motorsports car for the former New Hampshire State Champion driver. From Sunapee, New Hampshire, car 25, New Hampshire, Brian Roby.
That's the lineup, fourth and final open modified qualifying event. And some big names, Marcello Rafrano being among them, along with Stephen Kopchik on the front row.
Limited late models will be coming up next.
Good field of limiteds again for the 2025 season here at Stafford. Green flag is out. We're back underway here in qualifying action for the open modifieds. Marcello Rafrano brings the field to turn number 1. Kopchik goes way wide in the corner, looking to build a run, and he does on Ronnie Silk in a battle for second.
There's no question about it. Kopchik is always a rocket here at Stafford. But when he comes up against his buddy Ronnie Silk, these become the dynamic duo, these two. Meanwhile, out in front, good racing still in store as they work their magic. Marcello Rafrano setting the pace. We call him the pride of Italy. He leads them off turn number 4. Marcello Rafrano in command. Silk is running in his tire tracks, and right there with him is Kopchik. 3 cars out in front, then there's a huge gap, and it is a battle between Salamito and Jacob Perry.
Salamito way out of shape last time off of turn number 4. Really stacked his second pack up, and he's going to do it again. This time by the 4, goes to the inside. Jacob Perry challenging for that position. Salamito topside. Perry to the bottom, just in front of Keith Rocco in the 10A.
Meanwhile, the 10A coming forward in this pack of cars. He dives to the inside. Right there with him, Jeffrey Battle. Behind him, the orange Richie Evans look-alike machine, working its magic on the inside. Can't do it yet. He's right there to contend. Meanwhile, the 4 car, Jacob Perry, shakes him off. Down off turn number 4, leader of the pack, still Marcello Rafrano.
Rafrano out front by 0.6 of a second over Ron Silk in second. Kopchik in third, closing in on Silk. Salamito hangs on to that 4th spot, finding pressure from the 10A of Rocco and the 4 Perry.
Rocco continues to run at the bottom of the top 5. He is hunted down by Jacob Perry. Now moving to the final row. Tyler Berry, car number 8, New York, and Brian Roby there with the 25 New Hampshire, the Bar Harbor Bank sponsored car. Off the turn, back to the stripe. Leader is still Marcello Rafrano. No challenges here. 7 laps up on the board.
Into the final 3 laps we go. It'll be 2 at the line for Marcello Rafrano, the race leader, all strung out, evenly spaced and among the top 3, with Silk in second, Kopchik in third, racing hot and heavy from 4th on back. Timmy Salamito has been able to hang on to that position the first 8 laps of this event. Here comes Rocco to the inside.
Rocco tries it. It doesn't work. Salamito guards the spot, picks it up. Coming off turn number 4. Marcello Rafrano, been consistent and fast. 1 lap to go.
Final trip around for Marcello Rafrano over Silk in second. You're watching the battle for 4th. It's a good one. Salamito and Rocco, 4th and 5th, followed by the 4 of Perry in the 5th to make that in the 6th spot. Battle and nearly out of shape. Checkered flag this time.
No question about it. Rocco moves in, takes over the 4th spot. Here they come back to the stripe. Final 3 transfer positions. Marcello Rafrano will take down the win. Ronnie Silk to finish in second. Stephen Kopchik finishes third. Keith Rocco sneaks into 4th. Timmy Salamito for 5. Jacob Perry for 6.
Jeffrey Battle just missing it in 7th. Tyler Berry in 8th. And Brian Roby rounding out the 9-car fields in this 4th and final qualifying event for the Open Modifieds for the Spring Sizzler later this afternoon.
And you know, we have witnessed some incredible qualifying action, but take a look at some of the cars that did not make it into the Sizzler so far. And of course, they'll be coming out later for a last chance event, consolations, and much, much more. Right now, coming onto the Speedway is the limited late model division. Car number 19 will be on the track first. The CSB Communications car from Plainville, Connecticut, Adrian Paradis III.
And scheduled to start in the second spot, car number 74 from Springfield, Massachusetts, the Bears Cleaning Service F&M Enterprises entry for Matthew Winter II.
Let's take a look at row number 2, car number 9, the ARI Spray Foam Gold Properties car from Canton, Connecticut, Connor Jensick.
To his outside, car number 14 from Agawam, Massachusetts, the Lloyd's Transmission car for Kevin Cormier.
Let's take a look at position number 5, GP Fence. Number 5 from New Hartford, Connecticut, nice guy in the paddock area, Gary Patno.
Sixth starter, car number 5 from Wellington, Connecticut, the Mojo Cafe, American Landscaping and Lawn Science car for Daryl Furtife.
A brand new Rob Russell chassis car. Car number 83 from Wellington, Connecticut. This gentleman had some victories to his credit last year. R.J. Serdell.
Eighth starter, car number 56 from Morris, Connecticut, the Orsini Racing entry for John Orsini.
Let's take a look at Team Choice starting in the 9th spot from Durham, Connecticut. Shelby Swan, car number 44.
And rounding out the 10-car field, car number 80 from Old Saybrook, Connecticut, the Saybrook Rentals car for Norman Root III.
So there you have it. Limited late models. Then next we move into the running of our late model qualifying heats. We've got one more limited late model after this. If you've just joined us, welcome on behalf of the entire management of Stafford Speedway. We hope you're enjoying the presentation. Plenty of great items available down on the midway. Food prepared just the way you like it. Check out the Sausage Shop directly behind Broadcast Central. It's new, it's got great food and great variety. And then, of course, up on the midway, the Stafford Speedway souvenir booth and the Sunoco souvenir booth with your Monaco Tri-Track and some of your top modified drivers' souvenirs available at both of those locations. And a look at the historic Manafort cars. They once dominated the racing action at Plainville, at Waterford. Here at Stafford, the Mini Mile was named after them. And appropriately, the Legends Cars division took to life here at the half mile. Right now, Kyle Rickey is coming to life.
With the green flag here for the limited late models, and it's going to be Paradise to lead the field into turn number 1. Car number 19. Here comes the 9 further back, challenging for the second spot. That is Connor Jensick up the back straightaway with the 22 in third for Gary Patnode. A new look for Gary's car this year, along with the 14, a new look for Kevin Cormier, who takes that third spot away.
R.J. Serdell is also coming into the top 5 with car number 83. Meanwhile, but pretty much the same margin separating, and all of a sudden, as I say that, Connor Jensick's car does a little bit of a stutter step. Here comes R.J. Serdell. Down underneath Patnode, go up a spot, and there's the 14 working its magic for Kevin Cormier.
Cormier up to second and will take that position away, look to pull away from the Jensick car, number 9, as Paradise continues the lead as they come back off of turn 4. Adrian Paradise in the 19. New colors, new look for that car as well here this season.
A lot of good-looking cars, and the Mustang of Serdell moves in, takes over the 4th spot. Little puff of smoke coming off Connor Jensick's machine as Matt Winters moves in, takes over 2nd. Paradis is still running very strong with that beautiful car at the front of the field, the Smedley car. As he continues to be the driving force, R.J. Serdell just clicked off the quickest lap of the event. He is setting back in the 4th position. Not for long. He dives to the inside of Connor Jensick. R.J. Serdell has 3rd. Short-lived, Kyle.
As here comes Patno to the inside to challenge for that third spot, make that Surdell for third. Jensick and Patno all tightly bunched. Norm Root, first car out of that pack in car number 80. Newcomer here to this division and to the Stafford Motor Speedway. With just a couple laps to go for Adrian Paradise, race leader, car 19, all by himself over the 14 of Kevin Cormier.
Meanwhile, good racing in that third, fourth, and fifth. Oh, Patno's car got a little bit sideways on him while running in the fifth position. 7 cars to qualify. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Patno continues to try to hold off now the number 80 car of Norman Root. Root, we welcome him and his family to the half mile here for 2025. And here comes Adrian Paradis, the Smedley machine, will take down the victory.
Cormier in second as they cross the line in car number 14. Surdell in third, Jensick in fourth, Patnode unofficially in fifth. Make that Norman Root in fifth over Patnode, Vertifay, John Orsini, also Matthew Winter, all crossing the line here in heat race number 1. Shelby Swan in the 44, John Orsini in the 56.
So there you have it. There is round number 1. Let's get ready to present the lineup for round number 2. Car number 23 will be starting at the point. That, of course, is the 23 of Devin Jensick, driving the Genco construction car from Canton, Connecticut.
Car number 82 scheduled to start in the second spot from Pasco, Rhode Island, the Freedom Equipment Services AZ roofing car for Samantha Dell.
Let's take a look at row number 2, car number 24, WGF Building Machine from Three Rivers, Massachusetts, Kyle Theriot.
Former track champion will start from the 4th spot. Car number 6 from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the LNS equipment car for Jeremy Lavoie.
Keep your eyes on this guy. He is a showstopper. Driving this Tribal Trucking Company machine from Tolland, Connecticut, car 28, Rich Hammond.
Defending and reigning champion will start from 6th outside of row 3, car 59 from Rocky Hill, Connecticut, the Utility Services of New England car for Matt Clement.
And his brother driving the Utility Services of New England, number 18 out of Wethersfield, Connecticut, Scott Clement will start back in 7th.
8th starter car number 42 from Northford, Connecticut, the Daddy-O's Honey car for Dana Ray.
Then we go to the final row, starting position number 9. Tri-State Equipment Repair brings us the 55 from Somers, Connecticut, Jason Lafayette.
And the Street Stocks all-time winner will start in the 10th spot here in the limited late models, making the move here this season. Car 11 from Woodbury, Connecticut, the Haidar Construction Incorporated car for Travis Haidar. So a couple of drivers that have found a lot of success in the street stocks over the last several seasons, moving up to the limited late models. Jason Lafayette among them. You mentioned him a moment ago in the 55. And, of course, the 11 of Travis Haidar. We'll see how they add to the competition, the already stacked competitiveness of the limited late models. We'll go green here, I guess. This time they're single filed out at the front. Now they begin to double up in their rows of 2.
And coming up at the conclusion of this, late model qualifying heats will be scheduled next. And then we will do the opening festivities and move everything right along. Again, it's a brisk afternoon, and we have just, well, kicked off another qualifying round.
Yep.
Wasting no time at all at the front of the field.
Devin Jensick out front, pulling away at the front over Jeremy Lavoie in second, adding some new colors to his car this season, a bit more yellow we've seen in the past. Battle for third is on, and it's a good one as they come back off of turn number 4. In fact, you can call it the battle for second. Matt Clement in the 59, those blue and black colors, challenging Jeremy Lavoie, that red number 6. A couple of former champions duking it out for the runner-up spot.
Well, they are evenly matched as they head down. You can put a piece of paper between the 2 cars, but that's short-lived. Matt Clement puts the USNE car into second. Lavoie drops back, and right there with him is the 24 of Kyle Theriot. Theriot back in the 4th position. Behind him, Rich Hammond. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Rich Hammond continues to surprise everyone here at Stafford as he now sets in position number 5.
Longtime competitor here at the Speedway. I think he has raced in all 5 of the weekly divisions. Picked up a track championship a few years back here in the limited late models. Car number 28 right now running in position number 5, just behind Kyle Terrio in the number 24, running 4th. As they come off of turn number 4, we'll complete another lap.
We've got a car up wide. It is the Dana Ray machine. It went to the top side of the racetrack and comes to a screeching halt underneath the Joey LaJoy seat banner. And just as the flag comes out, he's able to fire it back up and will pick up at the rear of the field. Samantha Dell, who is in the number 82 car. That, of course, is the Scott Nordman machine. Sammy had a little bit of a touch of the flu today, so she said she was just going to go out, try to get some laps, but she was not feeling up to par. So tough break for her. She was so looking forward to competing in today's event.
A lot of that going around between that and allergies.
Yes.
But Sammy Dell's out there in car number 82.
Yep, give her credit. She is a fighter. There's no question about that. Next 2 qualifying rounds for our late model division. Mike looks him over. Devin Jensick continuing to pick up where he left off. Meanwhile, Matt Clement quickly moves into 2nd, and Rich Hammond up to the 4th spot. 5th becomes the heated spot of the racetrack. And Kyle, we've got 2 cars side by side.
That's Haidar and Terrio. Haidar in the outside lane, car number 11. Terrio to the bottom in the 24. And just behind them, Jason Lafayette in the 55. Battle for the lead further up. Here comes Clement to the inside of Jensick.
Travis Haidar coming to the front of the field. This kid's got so much talent. Meanwhile, look at the bid for 3rd. And the 28, Rich Hammond, got out of shape. All that ground that he gained, it was gone. And in the blink of an eye, Travis Haidar is running in the tire tracks of the 6 of Jeremy Lavoie, contending for the 3rd spot.
Lafayette shuffled back a bit as well in car 55. White flag is out for the 59. Matt Clement out front, trying to break away as the 18 goes around. That's Scott Clement off of turn number 4, and a close call there. Wow, just a matter of inches between Clement and Dana Ray.
And the number 18 does get fired back up. Scott Clement did not get off to a very good start in today's qualifying, trying to shake down the car. So 7 of 8 laps up on the board. And Matt Clement is the leader. Devin Jensick is in 2nd. And you can see that Travis Haidar is adjusting well in the top 3, and Jeremy Lavoie, always a contender. Lavoie likes to save his equipment to the main event, so he'll just do just enough to get where he needs to be before he comes in to the feature event where the money is on the line.
Limited late models, very competitive division here a year ago. 11 different winners in 20 races. Matt Clement picking up the championship on the final night by just 10 points over Devin Jensick. And then look at 6 months later, here they are on the front row of the division's first heat race of the season.
They sure are, and...
Well, second heat race of the season. The first event of the year for the division. 1 and 2, and then Lavoie and the 11 of Haidar in row 2.
Okay. Matt Clement, Devin Jensick, pace car about to dive to the infield.
Getting a look at a replay and watching Clement go around.
And that was not an easy hit by any stretch of the imagination. Here we go. Back on the throttle. Green flag is out. Clement, not as racy that time on the start, but got enough power to come off the turn like a rocket, and Clement is back in command. But here comes Travis Hydar, making his presence known on the outside, guards the spot. Hammond is there. Checkered flag is out. Matt Clement will take down the win. Devin Jensick to finish in second. Jeremy Lavoie, good run for third. Great run for Travis Hydar for fourth. Rich Hammond to finish in 5.
Then it's Kyle Terrio in 6th, Jason Lafayette in 7th, Dana Ray 8th, Scott Clement 9th, Samantha Dell to round out the top 10. Would the Manafort family and their guests please report to the pit gate behind the main grandstands going into turn 1 near the Tech Shack. You'll be a part of opening ceremonies coming up here in just a little bit. Again, the Manafort family, please report to the gate behind the main grandstands going into turn number 1. And, of course, your guests, as you'll be a part of the main or the opening ceremonies here on the main straightaway in just a few minutes from now.
Okay, here we go. This is the late models. Car number 42 will be at the point. That is Michael Ray out of Statesville, North Carolina, in the DMW graphics machine.
And it is outside as the 9 cars that make up this event head out onto the racetrack. Car number 33 scheduled to start in the second spot from Barkhamsted, Connecticut. The American Legion 182 be the 1 car for Aiden Burrill.
Let's take a look at row number 2, car number 79, the Jarmark Farms Botticello Incorporated car. From Enfield, Connecticut, car 79, Daryl Keene.
4-starter car 97 from Granby, Massachusetts, the Meadows Motor Cars entry for multiple-time track champion Adam Gray.
3 rows back to the inside, the day's cannabis car from Chicopee, Massachusetts, another former champion, car 43, Andrew Duran.
6-starter car number 87 from North Franklin, Connecticut, the Mayday Oil car for Chris Meyer.
In the 7th starting spot, keep your eyes on car 39, the Tavern on the Tracks machine. From Berlin, Connecticut, Paul Verrecchio Jr.
And car number 92 to round out the field from East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, the King Gray Coach Lines entry for longtime Stafford veteran Tom Fern.
Tom Fern got off to a very tough start in the practice day here at Stafford when something broke in the suspension, made contact with the wall coming off turn number 4, and did not get any real laps to test the equipment and the car. Fern is a former multiple champion here at Stafford. And of course, his mom, Betty Fern, big supporter and big follower of him all through the years. Mom is home watching. We wish her the very best.
Tom, of course, winningest driver in this division at 65 victories. That is 20 ahead of second place Ryan Pisaka. As the field goes into turn number 3. Final division to qualify here for their main events later on this afternoon. And we'll go one more time around as it'll be the 42 of Michael Ray and the 97 of Adam Gray on the front row. 2 qualifying heat races here for the late models.
A lot left in store here this afternoon.
And again, I know we said it earlier, big thanks to all the fans for coming out. A busy day on track after yesterday's rainouts, and wanting to give all of our weekly competitors the opportunity to be a part of this event. So everybody's here in the pit area for a huge Sunday of racing, part of the 53rd NAPA Spring Sizzler.
All 165 of them in the grandstand. Everybody's bundled up, but here, and those of you watching on Flow at home. Here we go. The green comes out, wasting no time at all. Adam Gray and Michael Ray. Sounds like a combination of a law firm, doesn't it? But down into turn 3 and off the turn. Gray has it by inches, but Ray continues to fight back. They touch, and Adam Gray becomes the leader of the pack.
He's out front by a couple of car lengths over Michael Ray, who's going to jam that 42 car into line in second, just in front of Daryl Keene in third. Tom Fern, that orange and yellow 92 color combination this year, is up to 4th. Chris Meyer to round out the top 5, around to complete another lap.
There's no question Tommy Fern's got a fast race car. Adam Gray clicked off the quickest lap so far in 2. but then it was Tom Fern, second fastest. Meanwhile, back in the 5th position, moving forward, Chris Myers with the number 87, Andrew Duran with the 43. Duran tries to sneak down. Let's go forward now. Car number 79, Daryl Keene moves in, takes over second, and now all of a sudden it appears that Michael Ray continues to dig in hard in the outside lane. Chris Myers closing up the gap. Andrew Duran is there, and right there behind him is Paul Verrecchio. Trouble now. All of a sudden, the 79, Daryl Keene, is completely loose. He's sideways. He spins like a top.
And it looked like he and the 42 made contact going into turn number 1 of Michael Ray and Daryl Keene, second and third at the time. Caution comes out.
So the caution comes out as finally he gets it fired back up. Daryl Keene's race car got loose in turn number 4. And then, as he went down into turn number 1, all of a sudden the back end snapped around again. One more qualifying race.
Couple of wins for Daryl Keene a year ago, including in the very first feature event of the season for the late models. Car 79 suffering some front end damage there after the incident in turn number 1 has pulled his car on the pit lane. Adam Gray, race leader. And we'll get the 1 to go signal now with Meyer to his outside. And we'll get a look at a replay, see what happened to put us under this caution flag a moment ago. And Keene got sideways off of turn 4, as did Tom Fern. And then Keene drove a little hard into turn number 1, got into Ray, and then got himself in trouble at the same time. Looped the car, tagging the outside safer wall. Go one more time around as everybody is trying to find their proper restart positions. Adam Gray in car 97, we do know the race leader, a 39-time late model winner, a 4-time track champion, 4th on the late model all-time win list for Adam Gray. And now they're 3 wide up in turn number 2, and looks like Ray to the 2nd spot, Tom Fern to the inside of Meyer now, 3rd and 4th. Verrecchio, championship contender a year ago, finishing 2nd in the championship standings, 30 points back. Rounding out the top 5, we think. They're still reorganizing the field. They'll get the 1 to go signal this time by, and it looks like everybody is set.
Sure does. A little bit of readjusting to make sure that everybody's in their correct order. And we are going to make some adjustments in the schedule, because following the completion of our next final late model qualifying event, Kyle, we're going to make some changes, and those changes are.
We'll have the Consi and then the SK feature, and then go right into the 53rd Napa Spring Sizzler for the Open Modified. So they'll move up in the order, it looks like, by 1 from the posted schedule just a couple of days ago. As the field comes off of turn number 4, going to go back under the green flag. Couple laps to go here in this qualifying event for the late models. Adam Gray brings the field to turn number 1. Michael Ray in the 2nd spot. Tom Fern in 3rd. Paul Verrecchio challenging Meyer for the 5th position. Battle for the lead is on in turn 3. Here is Ray to the inside of Gray for the top spot.
It sounds like a soap opera, but off the turn, here is a script that will go into the record books. Out in front, it is now Michael Ray. He's earned every bit of this one. Adam Gray moves back into 2nd. Here comes Tommy Fern. Meanwhile, look at Chris Myers. green and white car to the inside of your screen, backed out of it a bit. That gave the advantage to move in the 39 of Verrecchio. Fern trying to do it, can't do it. He is challenging there for the second spot.
Off turn number 2, Gray goes wide, Fern to the inside for second. Ray is able to break away at the front of the field. Mad scramble from the runner-up spot on back. White flag, 1 lap to go. Michael Ray shows the way into turn number 1 over Adam Gray in second.
Well, there's no question, wild run there, but out in front, Ray is gone. Meanwhile, here comes Gray again. Verrecchio puts the car to the inside of Tom Fern. Here they come. Checkered flag is out. Michael Ray will take down the win. Paul Verrecchio sneaks in to finish in second with car 39. Tom Fern will finish in third, and rounding out the top 4 is the 97 of Adam Gray.
Andrew Duran finished in 5th, Chris Myers 6th. Daryl Keene, after the incident in turn 1, will finish 7th. Aiden Burrell, unable to start the heat race, scored in 8th in car number 33. And with that, we have 1 to go for the late models, and then we'll jump into our opening ceremonies and feature competition here for the 53rd Napa Spring Sizzler and this final heat race about to head out onto the racetrack.
It sure is, and car number 10 will be starting at the point. Brand new race car for the Springfield Thunderbirds. PTG Enterprises car from Fairfield, Connecticut. Car number 10, Wayne Corey Jr.
Outside of the front row, car number 2 from Monroe, Connecticut, the JSB Motorsports car for Dwayne Knoll.
Let's take a look at row number 2, Safeco Foams, number 12 from Hamden, Massachusetts. It is Alexander Fern.
Car number 44 will start to the outside of row 2 from Enfield, Connecticut, the Foster Motorsports car for Scott Foster Jr.
Then we go to the Tom O'Sullivan Welding, Vincent Buffoni. Number 07 from Belchertown, Mass, Chris Buffoni.
6 starter, car number 9 from Naugatuck, Connecticut, the A6A Associates car for Bobby Stirk III.
And the champion setting back in the 7th starting position, the Lavigny Law Machine from Ellington, Connecticut, Kevin Gambacorta, car 23.
And to round out the field, scheduled to be the number 53 from Warren, Connecticut, the Stans Auto Body car for Rob Taylor Jr.
So there you have it. That is our final late model qualifier. And then the activities will be shifting down trackside.
Good new look for Wayne Corey Jr. this year, along with Kevin Gambacorta in the 23, last year's champion. New design. As we're set to go, Dwayne Knoll on the outside, Wayne Corey on the inside of the front row, the number 10 and 2 cars, and then it's going to be Fern.
Yep, and Scott Foster returning to the competition, Chris Buffoni, along with Kevin Gambacorta and Rob Taylor, and Bobby Stirk picking up at the rear of the field. Bill Long looks him over this time. Green flag is out. Wayne Corey, the Wayne's Auto Body car, gone at the front of the field, but quickly moving in is Dwayne Knoll. Then it's a battle for third. Scott Foster in a car that he had in the garage for quite a few seasons. Blew the dust off of it, and he is back and ready to rumble.
Foster's up to third. Gambacorta to the outside of Fern for position number 4. Kevin Gambacorta takes that spot away and immediately goes to work on Foster for the third spot off of turn number 2. Foster to the outside, Gambacorta to the bottom, Fern in the 12, looking on in 5th.
Meanwhile, here comes Gambacorta showing why he is a multiple champion in this division, looking for 3 titles. And that is a tough act to do, but he is up for the challenge. He moves underneath Foster, up to third. Gambacorta into the 3rd position. He's not done yet. Meanwhile, back in the 4th spot is Foster. And then behind Foster is the number 9 car for Bobby Stirk, who has now moved into position number 5.
And then Alex Fern in the 12, who nearly got turned a lap and a half ago from Chris Buffoni in the 07. They're okay. Fern in 6th, Buffoni in 7th. And then Rob Taylor rounding out the field. Halfway home, 4 down, 4 to go for Wayne Corey Jr. at the point in car 10.
Clock is ticking. Wayne Corey Jr. got the field covered. Gamba Corda is all over Knoll, but Knoll continues to hold on to second, but Gamba Corda, the quickest car in the racetrack, reeling him in. Off the turn, 5 of 8 now complete.
Corey out front, 1.6 seconds over Knoll and Gamba Corda, who is applying the pressure for the runner-up spot. Here comes Kevin Gamba Corda off of turn 2, has the run up the back straightaway, will take the position away from Dwayne Knoll, who slides back to third.
Here they come off the turn. Popsicle sticks are up, 2 to go. Gamba Corda has a rocket, picking up where he left off just 1 year ago. Wayne Corey Jr. way out in front in this one. But this time, when they come off the turn, white flag is out, 1 lap to go.
Final trip around for Wayne Corey Jr. over Kevin Gamba Corda, 1.6 seconds a couple laps ago, 2.1 seconds between the top two this time, with Gamba Corda in second, Knoll in third. Half lap to run as they're up the back straightaway for the final time.
No question about it. Margin between second and third is, well, a little bit larger than anticipated a few laps ago. Wayne Corey Jr. to take down the win. Kevin Gamba Corda to finish in second. Dwayne Knoll to finish in third. Good run for Scott Foster for 4. Finishing in the 5th spot, Bobby Sturt, car number 9. Alexander Fern in 6th. Chris Buffoni in 7th. And Rob Taylor to finish in the 8th spot. Now, our attention shifts to the big screen center stage for tonight's pre-opening festivities.
Following a wet and dreary Saturday